work.
Well done, IT guy.
Right. Oh god, I'm getting feedback.
Right, try that. Default speaker is now changed to HyperX.
It's lower still.
Yeah, you're still quite quiet.
What the fuck?
And I thought I was going to have the issues.
Oh, you know what? Don't you? There's a volume dial on the thing. I've caught it with my hand and turned it down. How's that?
And this is the guy that I rely to fix all my consoles.
Is that better?
Much. Have you seen my new streamlined glasses?
What, the ones that don't fit on your head anymore? Yeah, Michelle got Emily's stream up yesterday. I was like, look at Ben's glasses. And I was like, what? He's only got one thing, hasn't he? She was like, no.
Nope. More streamlined now. I needed to make it go faster through the wind. So now
that's the point. Don't you need them for driving?
No, fortunately not.
Oh, I was going to say, because I need to see this.
I do have prescription sunglasses though. So.
Oh, okay, that's all right then.
Yeah.
That would have been awkward.
Just a tad. Right, bitches, are you ready?
I need to press record.
Yeah.
Today we can do the clap.
Yes. I kept telling myself that all day and I completely forgot.
Because that was the most awkward one to edit.
Oh, hang on. Let me start Audacity. That might help.
Yeah, I just remembered that. I did it. I was like, quick, Audacity. Although when I typed it in my search bar, it didn't come up with the proper icon. And I was like, oh, great. Is that busted too? It seems to be working.
All right. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, mine's picking up. I don't know why I'm hearing my
1, 2
through my headphones. It's weird. Very odd.
My Audacity seems to be picking up stuff when it's completely silent.
Yeah, mine is. I thought it was just mine being weird, like tiny little bits.
Yeah. How very odd. Oh well, we'll see how that goes. I'm recording on a different device as well, so.
Obviously, when I'm speaking, it's peaking, but when I'm not speaking, there's like tiny little jittery bits. Very odd. Oh wow, you can access. I was just looking through Zoom settings. There's a use dual monitor setting where I can put one of you on one screen and one of you on another.
That's pretty cool.
I didn't know you could do that. That's cool.
I think I'm picking you guys up as well.
Yeah. What the fuck's going on today?
What?
Well, I mean, it's incredibly small. Like I presume it's like a decibel meter on the top of Audacity.
Yeah.
And when you guys talk, it does flutter.
Yeah, mine is. Like it peaks to about like the first bar.
Yeah. I don't think it'll affect it too much. I've turned my volume down again.
Yeah. Well, I can edit out any background noise, so that's not an issue.
I'm literally on 4 out of 100 volume.
Yeah, shouldn't be picking that up.
I had it on 8. I'm going to put it to 6, but I just tried it at 4, and it still seems to be similar.
Very odd. Okay, mine seems to have settled now. I don't know what's up with that. And my mic isn't whirling through my ear now either. Yeah, mine's gone back to normal now. That's weird.
I'm getting very, very quiet, like squeaks through from someone's microphone.
Off your track last time, though, I did have to get a lot of echo and things out, so it was picking up when me or Sean was speaking.
Yeah, you should have tried my other recording.
Oh, was that really bad?
No, you should have just tried it.
Oh. Yeah, true. That'd be easy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah, well, yeah.
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 Mark. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Ben, interesting thing I got for you.
Yeah.
Right. You know that that complete con of a business idea that they wanted me to attend?
Yes.
Right, I got I messaged the dude because he did send me an email saying that he's they've booked a seat for me at the conference, all this sort of bollocks. So I messaged him out of like being polite, say it's I've looked into the company and I don't really think it's for me, rather than being like you're a complete rip-off. And he messaged me back, and he's obviously gone to bring back retro, not my page, because
Right.
and he's put. Hi Chris, thanks for letting me know. Interesting website and interesting concept. I see you mention you often do weddings on your website. I appreciate that may not be much of a go at the moment, but how are you looking to build out? We have a wedding photographer in our group. I'm sure I can encourage you to come and join us and meet a room full of business owners. So he's desperate, isn't he?
Wow.
And I haven't
Yeah,
replied.
Chris was invited to this pyramid scheme thing.
I love pyramids.
I wasn't
Yeah.
told that at the time. I was
Schemes, not so
told,
much. Pyramids, yes.
I was told that it was just a networking event for businesses. So I thought that was quite cool. We meet
That's how you
local
spell
business-
pyramid these days.
Yeah. So I thought you'd just be meeting local businesses and, saying this works, this doesn't work, etc., and sharing tips and tricks and stuff. But it turned out that it was going to be, I would go, and then I would then have to, if I was selected, which would be very, very obviously I would be, I'd then have to pay, I think it was a £600 membership fee. And it gets worse than this. Michelle looked into it. They hold events all around the UK. You're legally obliged to attend them.
Really? Wow.
Or they can sue you for not attending them and things. Because you're breaching the
I've been to safer cults, I think.
Yeah, it basically is a cult. Yeah,
Cult will give me your money.
You don't get travel expenses. You've got to travel in your own expense.
Wow.
And food and everything obviously is all on your expense. So, yeah.
Is that
That's insane.
what is it like a business? Like what?
It's just a business networking thing.
Yeah, they're called BNI. I'd never heard of them. They originated from America and then they've like branched.
How
out
is that
down
even
here.
legal?
I don't. Well,
It sounds shady.
it sounds shady as fuck.
It's the shadiest.
It sounds as shady as fuck. That's why I'm glad I didn't. I messaged it to Ben and I was like, "What do you think of this? It sounds really dodgy."
I did one Google search.
Yeah,
and
the
one,
first
all I did was search the name.
And the
then
first
one
Google
of the
search, wasn't it?
common Google questions was, "Is this company a scam?" Yes.
I like when you type in Google help I accidentally and it comes up with put up a shelf. Okay, so go to Google.
I'm gonna try this.
You have to type help I accidentally built a shelf. So mine comes up, built a shelf, built a Jeep, restarted the USSR, built a shrine to Shrek, built a Jeep, summoned a demon.
Yeah, help accident. And then my other one is I've got help I'm drowning underwater.
So what you want to do is you want to look at the memes to go along with them, and there's like the pictures of these two dudes building a shelf, going, "Shit, what have we done?"
Damn it, not again.
Okay, if you
Oh,
type
come on,
in
we're done.
if you type in help me it's help me I'm poor, help me I'm a fish, help me I'm Japanese, help me I'm French. How to say help me in Morse code, is that kind of not a little bit, you wouldn't be saying it.
Oh dear. I don't think they actually mean say the words ... ..
Never know.
Oh dear. Right, can we start this?
No. Yeah, okay.
Right.
Right, I think I've got everything open I want open.
I've
You
actually
got
got mine.
everything
I've got mine open today. Yeah.
Whoop whoop.
Right.
You guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah, why not?
Who's doing the clap?
Oh shit, clap.
Yeah, do it.
Remembered. Right, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
That's
Wanna
good
do it
enough.
again?
No,
We'll do
that's
it
good
again.
enough.
We'll do it
All
again.
right, go on then.
I'm feeling again.
1, 2, 3.
Cool.
That was better.
That'd be a lot easier than the last time.
Yeah, just a tad. Right, you ready?
Yar.
Hello and welcome back to Got Any More Pixels, episode number 20. We are into like double figures now. We're getting up there, guys. Although I can't remember how many episodes Sean's been with us for, but it's been quite a few now.
I would imagine it's at least half.
Do you reckon?
I think it's at least half.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, I wanted to discuss, what have you guys been playing this week?
I'm not even going to bother because it's Zelda.
Yeah, I was watching you play it.
Yeah, age. I'm still on Age of Calamity. I've nearly
game
done
is
it.
just so complicated. I do not know what was going on at all.
Like that fight I was in when you watched me, I did like those two Lionels on like a quarter of a heart of health.
Yes.
It was
Yeah,
so tense,
that was insane. Like 2 of your characters had a quarter of the health.
and I still managed to do it. And I was like, "Geez."
Very lucky.
Yeah, the one I'm doing now actually is even harder. You've got all 4 versions of Calamity Ganon, and you've got to beat all 4 Ganons in 3 minutes.
This is Age of Calamity. I'm not sure whether we said that before, but Chris has
Yeah.
been playing pretty much non-stop Age of Calamity. Have you
Yeah.
been playing anything else?
No, not really. I played Ocarina on stream, like I always do, but yeah. Oh, actually, no, I have played another game because I played a game that you mentioned last time, Donut County.
Oh, yeah. What did
Because
you...
it came up on my Xbox free games for PCs. I was like, oh, God, I'll give it a go. It's free.
Mm-hmm.
Boring, isn't it?
Oh, it's so dull.
I've liked the first level, and then I was a bit like, yeah, I've had enough of this now.
I just kept falling asleep with the controller, with the Switch in my hand. I was like, this is dangerous.
I couldn't imagine playing it on the Switch or anything like that. With a mouse, it's a bit more like interactive.
Oh, you on PC, were you?
Yeah. But,
I see.
So on PC, I could imagine it would be bearable for maybe one game, but I certainly wouldn't want to play it on a console. No way.
Hell no. Absolutely not.
But yeah, that's basically it.
So,
for
Sean,
me.
what have you been up to?
I think I've played more games than both of you put together this week.
Hey.
How many have you completed?
This week, technically, I have the platinum trophy for Cyberpunk.
Hey.
Oh, my goodness.
I
Well
use the
done.
word technically. The last trophy's bugged,
Oh, what?
so it won't pop. So the platinum won't pop.
Why? What? Do tell.
So the last thing, the cleanup essentially, which I imagine most people's cleanup will be, is completing specific missions in specific areas. So every area, once you completed all the missions within that area, you get a trophy. And I'm on the not the last area, but the last area I chose to complete, and I've finished everything, and the trophy hasn't popped.
Oh, what?
There's no way to recheck it either.
That sounds very similar to Borderlands 3. There was a trophy for a similar thing where you complete every area, and each area would give you one, and then once the whole area is done, you got like an overall one for that.
Yeah.
And there was one map, Cathedral of the Gods or something it's called, and that was bugged, so that wouldn't pop up any trophies.
Yeah, that sounds similar. Like I did one of the missions in the area, and it actually has a location icon for one of the other areas. So I think that's part of the problem of the trophy. So I finished the game. They had a patch yesterday, a 1.1 patch, like the biggest patch since the release of the game, and I don't think that's fixed it.
Oh, I was going to say hopefully that'll fix it, but no.
I'm not the only one getting it with this particular area. There's supposedly
they'll work on it. They'll definitely work on it if it's a known fault, and then.
Problem is, I don't know if I can redo it without playing the whole game again.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And I don't mind playing the game for the storyline, but there's a portion, there's like a reputation you need to grind to get access to all the missions, and I can't be bothered to do that again.
No, just for that one thing.
Yeah, so I mean, I've played like 150, 60 hours probably of it already, but so effectively I'm done. It's great. I've been enjoying it. I just can't be bothered to do all those missions.
No, just for one trophy.
There are a lot of missions on that, but I've submitted a ticket to CDPR, and like they've obviously done this 1.1 update. They did mention the trophy on the list.
Okay.
So it is a known fault, but it just didn't pop for me. I've tried to trick it, tried to do it other ways. Apparently it's easy to trick it on PC. You can like force it open or something.
All right.
Yeah, so I've been playing that. I have started playing Hollow Knight, which is a platforming thingy. It's all right. It feels a little bit slow. Apparently it's like people love it, but I'm not seeing what makes it so special yet. So I don't know. I'm playing that in and out. I've started playing Warframe, which is a free-to-play MMO kind of thing, where you're these ninja robot things. You run around slicing stuff up, shooting guns, and just kicking an ass. Gone back to Genshin Impact ever so slightly because there's a 1.2. Was a 1.2 update for that as well? There's a whole new area. What else did I play? I'm trying to think what else is on my list. I've been playing Rocket League, been playing Overwatch. Tried a game called Rogue Company, wasn't really keen on that. It just felt like one of the other MMO shooters. And then as of about an hour ago, I finished the Village demo, or the Maiden, as they call it.
Hey.
Oh.
It's different.
Oh, I don't know if I like that tone.
How's
It doesn't feel like Resident Evil.
Really? They've ruined it.
Shame.
No, it's better.
Oh, okay.
It's the first-person survival horror feel, and I'd much rather have that than what they've been doing.
Is it like the Resi 7 kind of first person?
I didn't even bother playing 7, so if it is like that, then I don't know what the hell I'm chatting about. But
7
honestly, I saw 4. I think I saw like 4 and 5, and I was like, oh, I've had enough of this.
Yeah,
now.
7 was massively different, wasn't it?
Was 7 first person?
Yeah, first person.
That sounds like it's similar, but it was eerie as hell. I turned all the lights out and just
well done.
went for it.
Nice.
Yeah, because of my stupid special TV thing. Like, it's so nice in the dark. You get perfect black.
Mm.
So the screen it basically just blends into the walls. So everything's super immersive.
Oh.
And it didn't take very long. You had to do a little bit of exploring, very minor puzzle solving, a little bit creepy. There's basically no music, which adds to the creepiness. I thought I was going to get like jumped on a bunch.
Oh yeah, the whole time you're waiting for that.
Yeah, because you don't have any weapons. Obviously, like it's a visual demo, as they put it.
Yeah.
It was good. There was a few crappy textures, admittedly, but I did go looking for them.
Yeah.
It's a visual demo. I'm going to have a look around.
Yeah, no, good on you.
There was like this texture with these maggots that wasn't very good in like a toilet. Obviously, I went and looked in the toilets. Well, the one in the cell you start in was clean, and the other cell was not. And then you hear these random noises. There's lots of banging around and stuff. Overall, if that's the kind of game it's going to be, and you didn't put a title to it, I wouldn't have called it Resident Evil.
No.
But I would have been. I am pleased by it. Like I definitely felt like on edge. It was more like playing Outlast, I think.
Okay.
Which was quite survival horror-ish, except the whole camcorder aspect was different. But so yeah, finished that about an hour ago.
Mm.
So I've been playing everything.
You've been busy.
Oh no, I finished Star Fox 2 as well.
Hey.
How could I forget? And I've been playing Guitar Hero this week. Sorry, I'll keep remembering. Yeah, I've played that many things. So
that's insane.
Got to get on it. I said I'd do it, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
well done.
You're halfway through your list now, aren't you?
I can't believe
January.
Yeah, that's
No, crazy. Yeah, no. I that's my list of to-dos. Admittedly, I've made a start on a bunch of them, but Star Fox is the only game I've actually finished.
Here's one to start.
Exactly. And I didn't put Cyberpunk on the list, even though I could have, because I hadn't finished it until January, technically, I guess. But I didn't. I left it off. So now the fun begins.
Hey.
Yay!
Fun. Woo!
Awesome. Well, I downloaded the Katamari game for the Switch.
Hey.
And
good.
I think there's only one that's on the Switch.
Yeah.
I was going to say I don't know which one it is.
Hang on.
Isn't it called Katamari Touched or something like that?
Katamari Damacy Reroll.
Reroll? Okay, no, that's not the one I thought of.
Yeah, I've been having fun with that though. That's really, really good fun.
It's mental, isn't it?
It is. It's just the controls aren't. I don't feel the controls are all that great on that.
No.
They're a bit difficult to get the hang of. It's like you've got the Joy-Cons, and in order to move forward, you have to move forward, both of them forward, and then to the right or the left.
Right.
Like
yeah, it's just, yeah.
Done that with one.
What's the motion to make the ball spin?
I had to look this up because it's during the trial, like teaching you how to play, and it shows you how to do it, like the controls. But I had to look it up to see what it actually meant. You have to go up and down with the control.
That's what I was going to say. Is it the up and down? Yeah.
But it doesn't really work all
momentum.
that well on the Switch. Apparently, there's a lot of people that have had trouble trying to get that control.
Is it not motion activated?
I was going to say motion, and you're doing this, going.
I hadn't actually checked, actually. I don't like playing motion control, so.
I remember we were talking about it before I looked it up, and it said that you can have it so that the gyro controls to roll the ball around and shake it to do the spin.
I don't think gyro controls are accurate enough in anything, so I've never used them at all. I don't like them.
Mm.
They is
That's
shite.
fair enough.
Also, I've been playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because it's awesome.
It's awesome, yeah.
I have downloaded a game a friend of mine released called Fragments. It's on Steam. I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but that looks really, really good.
Mm.
Cannot wait to play that. And also, I started, what was it? Silent Hill Homecoming.
Yeah.
Looks amazing because I'm used to playing like the original Silent Hills, and the graphic upgrade is so much better. But they have done the one mortal sin, in my opinion. They do not allow me to invert my y-axis.
Oh.
Only during aiming.
No.
And it's like, well, what's the point in having only during aiming? I want it during gameplay as well. It just infuriates me. So I don't know how long I'm going to last on that, but I'll hopefully try and get as much of it done as I can because it looks so good compared to like the first Resi ones. So yeah, think that is all that I have been playing. So who would like to start with the news this week?
Newsman.
Of
course. And then I can jump in with my
So,
amazing
need a
Zelda
jingle?
news.
Oh, we do need a jingle.
Does he
we
need a
do.
jingle?
Yeah, I think Newsman deserves a jingle.
Okay, well, we'll try and come up
Right.
with a jingle for next time.
Oh, that's not very good. Well, wait for a whole episode. Okay, fine. I'll just...
Put it in post,
Yeah?
Yeah, that's true.
but in the wrong place, just like now, because that's when we got it.
Right, so news we've got. PS5 restock chaos is the first thing.
Yay.
New stock of PlayStation 5, so to thousands of gamers waiting in virtual queues online. More than 160,000 people were trying to access Curry's PC World's website.
I was going to say you're going to mention
on Wednesday.
Curry's.
Yeah, which had a limited supply. Then recommended retail price for the unit is $449. Is that correct? $449 is the recommended retail for PS5?
Yeah, $349 for the discless.
Oh wow, they really are marking them up then when they're selling them for like 800.
Oh, yeah.
I thought they were like putting a little bit on. They're like doubling it.
Yeah,
Jesus.
the console's pretty inexpensive. Considering.
Supply and demand, my friend.
Yeah. But apparently, so the retail price is $449, but eBay bids on some of them are currently into the thousands of pounds. Experts.
Loads of places had stock this week, popping up and down. So I don't know what people are playing at.
It's just.
Well, have you heard of that
ridiculous.
Twitter account? There's a private Twitter account where all the scammers are getting together, and they let you use their bot software to buy a PlayStation.
Yeah,
if you
that's exactly what I've got next on my thing. It says
I'll let you read it then.
expert said that a rise in bots buying consoles has been added to the high demand. So they'll have the bots waiting in queues for them, and as soon as one's available, it'll purchase it.
Yeah.
So that no one else can get in there, basically. So that multiple, like a bot can be on like 5-6 sites at once, can't it? So and as soon as one's in stock, they just buy them all out.
And the scammers are saying it's getting easier and easier to do that.
Yeah, it's stupid. Where are we? So this morning, being Wednesday when this news was released, a limited number of PlayStation 5 consoles were made available online. Said Curry's PC World gaming head Nick Hayden said the website received a surge in traffic and we were completely sold out of stock within an hour. It's mental.
An hour sounds like a long time.
Yeah.
Well, he said within an hour. So due to very high demand of the product, we're operating an online queuing system, and this has caused frustration among customers. But it is what it is. But I did find out an interesting little figure. Right, so PS5 since release, have sold a total of 4.2 million consoles, which is in revenue is 1,885,800,000 in console sales. Mental.
Wow.
Awesome.
But yeah, that was quite an interesting number, I thought. And I wrote the number out in words on my document, so
Yeah, I knew you would have. There's no way you would have remembered the millions and the billions.
exactly.
The millions and the billions.
You know me too well. But yeah, my next bit of news is I've found some more games that have been announced for 2021.
Let me guess, Xbox.
No, they're varying different consoles. Thank you. I
There
cater
isn't
for.
a shortage on Xboxes at the minute, is there?
Don't think so because they're shit. I saw someone put somebody with an Xbox X series on TikTok because I'm getting into TikTok now, and he turned it on, and then there was just smoke coming out of the top, and his caption was, "I think it's broke."
Brilliant.
But you get Game Pass with Xbox. I think that's a much better idea than the PlayStation. You get much better games with it.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. Since they brought Game Pass in, they've definitely stepped up their game from originally, because originally you had just gold and you get 1 to 3 games a month for free within that package. But having Game Pass, you're essentially paying £3 extra, and then you've got that whole catalog available for free whenever you want. The only annoying thing with that is if you're working really hard on a game, you got really far, and then they remove it from Game Pass. You then have to pay for the game to be able to continue.
That is true.
So, but they haven't they haven't done that for many of the games I've been playing, so it's not really a big issue. But yeah, first game I've got. I'm not really gonna say anything more than the name. It's just Breath of the Wild 2. That's been teased again this week. They've just said 2021, which is what they've been saying for yonks now. So they still haven't. They're basically just rebaiting everyone with it. There's a new Halo coming out apparently as well. Halo Infinite. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Halo. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know much about Halo. There we go. This one. Sean might like interested in this one. Final Fantasy 16, PS5 exclusive, been announced.
Yes, that was announced when they showed the console off for the first time. They showed it alongside Horizon Zero Dawn 2 and stuff, but it looks different. It doesn't play the same. It looks very different. About. Well, they always do. Final Fantasy always change their formula. This feels more like I think maybe it looks more like The Witcher, if I remember correctly.
Oh wow, that's a big change then.
Seems like quite a change, yeah. And the characters, the designs, and everything look different.
Okay. Another PlayStation 5 announcement was, which may have been at the same time, Gran Turismo 7, which I reckon.
But it's expected. They needed to they play 6 a lot and they play it professionally and everything. So it was about time we had a new version of it. But
they're going to have the amazing thing. The thing that amazed me with this is because of the controller for the PS5. They're adding features so that you can feel the difference in your hands when you have anti-lock brakes and things like that. So, like in a real car, if you got into a skid with anti-lock brakes, it pulsates on your foot. The
haptic triggers will do that.
Yeah, that's mental. They've gone to that much trouble.
Well, this is the first thing I noticed. So I played Warframe years and years and years ago. Like it was I think it might have been one of the release games for PS4 or very close to release. It was free anyway. So obviously everyone played it. The PS5 version has haptic trigger feedback. So when I first started playing it, I was trying to shoot guns, and you have to press a lot harder on the triggers.
I remember you saying,
feel the triggers popping back every time you fire from your gun.
Crazy.
It's great.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But they've also said, it's going to bring. It's going to act as a showcase to show the power of the new console. Real-time ray tracing, high dynamic range, along with a host of high visual improvements. And then obviously the controller feature that's going to have more feedback on the controls. Drivers will be able to tell. I love they put drivers rather than players. Will be able to tell the difference between driving with anti-lock brakes and things like that. So that's a lot of customization that they've added through having the new controller technology.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool.
The PS5 controller is lovely.
Yeah,
but it's just another Gran Turismo game. I can't get excited about that.
I couldn't.
This is why we've only got 7.
But I like that. It's not the game I'm excited about though. I'm excited about the control. What they've been able to do with the controller. Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah.
But in all fairness, they've done their best with the boring game.
Like something as simple as like putting like the ABS feel off your foot onto a pedal. That's mental.
I'm wondering what their next idea is, because the touchpad was brilliant. Like the first time I remember playing just on PS4, playing Infamous Second Son, tilting the controller like 90 degrees or whatever it was, and then holding it and like spray painting with the motion controls as well. Like the PlayStation controller, like obviously it's my opinion, just nukes the Xbox controller.
Oh, yeah.
God, yeah.
With functions and features and the way they use
PlayStation
it.
has always been above the curve.
Yeah.
When it comes to
Yeah,
controllers.
like, and
Yeah.
I just don't. I think Xbox have realized maybe like we just keep it simple.
Yeah.
But the extra things you can do because of it are making
Yeah.
a difference.
But they don't keep their prices simple, though. The prices are extortionate for Xbox controllers.
That's a different piece of news. Coming up.
Jesus Christ.
Next news is next PlayStation controller will be television.
My next game I've got down coming out soon is the Resi 8 one, which we've briefly spoke about.
Coming out April 7th.
Yeah, and I read that it was going to be new gen only, but you've since found that it's going to be old as well.
Yep. Even if you look on the PlayStation Store, it says PS4 as well. If you buy the PS4 version, you do get a free upgrade to the PS5 version.
That's good.
No news on whether it will be VR compatible, but
I reckon it will be. I reckon it will be.
I need to look into Resi 7.
Resi 7 is amazing.
It's a really good game. Again, like you said about the new one, I agree. I don't feel that 7 is really a Resi game as such. It's more of a horror game.
But they lost their way since 4. I honestly just think like since 4, like a Code Veronica or 3 or whatever one was
6 was
first last out of them was like where they peaked.
6 gets quite a lot of hate, but I quite like 6. But it's more action paced rather than horror paced. So it's But yeah,
I'll never beat Silent Hill for horror. Silent Hill is better than Resident
Silent Hill's better for setting the mood, isn't it?
Well, that's what I was saying about how this one you could have put any name on it, like a different thing, because it didn't give any signs that it was Resi at all.
Yeah.
This demo,
Yeah.
But it would have been good still.
Yeah, 7's a brilliant game. I love it, but I don't think it encapsulates the Resident Evil storyline or anything at all.
They're a little bit wayward, I think.
But they've done a very good job with it. It's an amazing game. Next bit of news. I got this and then one more. The actor Ned Luke, who plays Michael out of Rockstar's GTA 5, has now left hospital after he contracted COVID-19. He's now on the recovery. So that's good. But what makes it funny is he posted on Twitter a video of him walking out of the hospital, and he done it so it was to look for like
in the style of GTA.
Yeah. So when Michael respawns, so he had the outfit and he walked out of the hospital and had it all filmed.
Oh, chap, that is a way to go.
Can't wait for someone to do the overlays on it.
I love it. He's basically been like he had severe pneumonia and positive test of COVID-19, got over it, and then his first thought was, hey, I'm going to do this.
Hey, wait, this is a perfect opportunity to respawn.
What a legend.
Let's turn this into a publicity stunt.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, Resi's doing, aren't they? With this, everyone's going mental over the tall lady.
Tall lady?
Yeah, that's
You
true.
must have seen at least a single meme.
Possibly. I don't really
they're going mental over the vampire lady. They're completely disregarding the game itself or everything. Like,
it's just all about
this
that.
vampire lady's really tall.
Yeah. It's almost as bad as that. I can't remember which company it was that tried to advertise on gravestones.
Really?
That was a while ago.
I know there was I know that
That sounds like a PS1 era stunt.
it was either
I think it was.
it was either a Resi or it was some kind of a horror game where they hid lifelike body parts around London. And
Oh yeah, that was Resi.
yeah, and if you found one, and if you found them, you could get some of them. And then they had to release a press statement out saying that they're extremely lifelike, and they weren't all found. And people were going to the police.
999.
Exactly. People were phoning up the police, being like, "I've just found a foot in Hyde Park."
Exactly.
There was also, I think, is it Acclaim that made Turek? There was a thing that if you named your daughter or son Turek, then they would give you a load of money for it.
Yeah, and one person did it, didn't they?
I don't think they did.
There was one. I don't know if they really did, but supposedly one person did it.
I doubt it.
How much money are we talking here?
I can't remember. It's probably
It was nowhere
like
near
10 grand or something.
Yeah, it was nowhere near worth what it would.
Yeah,
go for.
exactly.
Nowhere
Hey,
near.
it's not mine,
Childhood trauma.
Well, my last bit of news is the most exciting bit of news,
I know what it is.
which is the Ocarina of Time news that was unveiled this week, and I've been.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god! I'm just going to read this off here, and then I'll shut up.
I think Sean's just heard enough already.
Wait, I'm back.
The only thing this news has that I was annoyed at is it's now made me hate the F-Zero games because you'll understand why. A demo build for Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time has turned up alongside an old N64 demo cartridge which housed F-Zero the Nintendo Racer F-Zero X. So basically, F-Zero was put over the top of it to use the cartridge again.
That is one theory. The other theory is that it was just the demo of that game and had a bit of the demo of Zelda on it as well, because I think it came from a showcase. And I can't remember what the exhibition it was. It was like this big exhibition in America in the 90s.
Or it could be those older chips, you couldn't partially fill them. They had to be full to work.
I see, yeah.
So they would often put filler on to bulk it out, which I believe they do with GameCube games as well, actually, on the discs, because of how they read. PlayStation games definitely do it, which is how come we got the Tiger Woods South Park issue, because that was filler. But yeah, I'll continue. So yeah, so though the demo was partially saved over, it was intact enough to reveal some new details. Details about the demo were shared by Forest of Illusion, a site dedicated to preserving Nintendo's history. There were several surprises found in the demo cart, including several magical spell medallions that would grant Link different abilities on his journey. One of the medallions, the Soul Medallion, which I'm thinking will be the Shadow Medallion, that became the Shadow Medallion, would allow Link to turn into Navi and fly around as the fairy.
Oh crap! Okay, I didn't realise he gave extra powers. I didn't read that at all.
There's
That
loads.
sounds amazing.
Others would allow the hero to shoot fire like arrows or projectiles without which later then obviously became fire arrows. He could cloak himself into darkness to escape enemies, and both create and extinguish flames. Other changes in the demo included a simplified version of the Kakariko village, a completely different Hyrule world map, the Pegasus boots making a return, which were from Link to the Past, and a very early test showing how the archery would work when riding a Epona. Then they went further into it, and fans translated the text found on it, and it turns out that the plot for the game was due to be entirely different as well. So, for instance, the Deku Tree was originally designed to be a prison for Navi and the fairies, and Link's role would have been to break the fairies out to give them to the Kokiri children, which is completely different to how it was. And yeah, I was just like, you could imagine how excited I was when I heard this, and I was just like, oh my god! I actually read it. I don't read things normally; I just skim them. I read this, and my final bit of news: Hitman 3's out. I can't afford it. Enough said.
No. Let's go into more detail.
£75? No, I can't afford it.
What?
75 quid.
I just looked at it.
You get a free hit with that.
I looked on the Xbox store just now because number 2 was on sale, and I was like, "Oh, I'm playing this because 3's up now, isn't it?" And I said to Michelle, "Oh, let's see how much it is." Yeah, £74.99 for the deluxe edition, £58 for the regular. So you might as well just get the deluxe because otherwise you don't get the full game. Because how Hitman do it is, unless you buy the premium edition, you only get half the game. It's not like you get the game and then that's just a few extras. Like with the last one, for example, you got half the game and then the final 2 levels were on a DLC pack. So you have to then buy the DLC. So you may as well just pay out for the deluxe pack and get all the bonus stuff and that and have the whole game.
Hitman sucks.
No, it doesn't.
Well, their selling technique does. It sounds like they're in cahoots with EA or something like that.
Yeah, but
that's ridiculous.
The thing here is, notice that I said I can't afford it. If I could, I would be getting it. I would pay it.
You'll find a way.
Yeah,
that's a foot or a liver.
I haven't got any of them left.
What, feet?
Livers. Then you only have one.
So
I didn't do biology. I'm good.
But You said livers.
I didn't say they had to be yours.
Yeah, just
I'm going down to the butcher.
yeah. Like I need this cleared up.
Let's segue out of this.
How many have you got?
What, on me or around me?
I lost count. I've lost count.
In the freezer
So
next to me?
to backtrack to this Hitman thing slightly, is it only digital then?
No, it is physical, I believe.
Oh,
Physical.
Well, I believe so.
I wonder. I'm just having a little look for. Yeah, that's cheap stuff found at £63 for deluxe digital.
Digital as well. Jeez,
Yeah,
it's a lot of money.
that's
a lot of money.
Yeah, like it really is.
And if it's
I mean,
anything
I
like the last
certainly
one,
wouldn't be.
they came out with a very similar price to this for Hitman 2. And I thought, well, it's going to be massive. There was like 5 levels. I completed the
thanks.
game in one sitting.
That's so bad.
Okay,
Yeah.
not to 100%, because obviously you've got the aspect that you can do different hits to get different challenges. But to play the story through, I did it in one sitting. And I paid, if I'd have paid like the like 50, 60 quid they were asking back in the day when it came out, I'd have been well pissed at that.
Unacceptable.
You're basically paying like a 10 or a level.
That's
stupid.
That's beyond a joke.
Oh, I just remembered another game I played this week.
Oh, what?
Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, yeah, I remember you saying it's good.
No, it's bugged. I haven't finished a level yet.
Oh,
That's what that was. So train of thought here. You're obviously like, oh, I'm not going to spend a lot of money on a game for it to be really short and really disappointing.
yeah.
Well, it's only 12 quid, but the online multiplayer doesn't work.
Oh, that's quite
It
flawed
just
then.
doesn't work, basically. Yeah, and apparently it's been like that since the original version. So we've had the game. Me and my friend have had the game crash. We've both been just like walking around different times on the screens. We haven't got past the first level.
Wow.
I have got one level up on one of my characters because it booted him from the server and saved my data. Outside of that, we have done nothing, and we spent 3 hours, I think, playing.
Jeez.
So we're not very happy with that game at the minute.
No, I wouldn't.
That's
And we were really looking forward to that.
you and a lot of other people too.
Yeah, like, honestly, you check it. I didn't think to check it, but you check and it's riddled with bugs.
Well, that's really disappointing.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're looking to patch it either at the minute. They don't really talk about it.
Nope.
They're like, nah, it's the same version we released 10 years ago. Have that.
Those who just ported it over to newer consoles and then.
I think so, yeah. Yeah. Doesn't matter what console you're on, it's just bugged to high hell.
Oh, damn.
So, anyway, that's another game I've played.
Does anybody else have news? Because I'm done with news.
Sean?
The Xbox like membership news, I guess, where they were going to up the price of it. It was going to be like $120 a year.
Yeah, that worried me when you said that.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I think it was going to go from 9 to 10 or 10 to 11 or something.
Right.
And then the half a year was going to go from 40 to 60. And then so that would have made a full year 120. Because apparently they don't sell it in years anymore.
Though I pay, I think that's what I pay now. I pay $10.99 a month. So it's.
But are you on Ultimate Game Pass or something?
Yeah.
Which is better, but like the original membership, you can still get a year of Xbox Live for like £40, or they're close to if you look hard enough.
Wow. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think it's like.
But you got to remember that's $120. So your Ultimate Pass would have been the same price. It's just the base.
Oh, I get you. Yeah,
it's just the base one that was going up. People think they were going to up the price to force people into Ultimate.
I moved over to Ultimate, as I say, because of Game Pass primarily, and it's like an extra. Yeah. It was going to be because back when Game Pass became new, they were charging like an extra £10 to add Game Pass, and then they like put it in with Gold, made Ultimate, and just you pay like an extra £4 a month, and you get all those games. So I was like, it's a bit of a no-brainer.
Yeah, just trying to check.
And they're big title games. It's not like they're little indie games. There's quite a lot of little ones on there, but there's a lot of massive games on there that are available.
Does stuff come and go on that as well?
Yeah. Yeah, you have like 5 to 6 games a month that will be removed and replaced. But they did, to be fair though, on them, they do give you the warning a month prior that like these games are going to be leaving.
Yeah.
So you've got chance to save your data or buy it if you want to carry on.
They don't give you a discount though, do they?
No,
No.
you
If you want to buy them.
No, you pay full price.
Which kind of sucks because it takes me back to when you used to rent games from like Blockbuster and stuff like that. If you bought them off them, you could get them for cheaper.
Yeah, you get them cheaper. Yeah, that's what's annoyed me a bit about. Well, will annoy me because I know it's going to happen. Is with Dragon Quest, as it's an it's an RPG, open world RPG. So it's not a game you play for like a day or two and then you just leave. It's you invest a lot of time in it.
You need to finish it before it goes.
Yeah, and if I don't, it's like 50 quid because it's quite a new release.
Wow.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, just looking really quickly, I've seen that a year of Xbox Live was as cheap as £35
Jesus.
within about a week ago, just over a week ago. So, like, when you compare that to, I don't know, however much Xbox Live is for their yearly bundle, I'm guessing they do a yearly bundle.
I think so. I can't honestly remember. I've always just paid monthly for mine. Or three monthly. That's what I used to do for back in the day.
I'm wondering, like, if the payoff's really worth it. Like, in the end of the day, how many of these different games are you going to play? How many of them could you physically just buy?
Yeah, to make it. Yeah, which would be cheaper in the long run.
I mean, probably like 99% of the time, I'm sure it's better. Like, if you say these new games do come straight to it, but I don't subscribe to PlayStation Now. I can tell you that much.
Okay.
I just get my stuff straight away.
Well, first thing I've just googled it. Xbox Series X with Game Pass. Oh no, don't worry, ignore me. Okay. That's for the console pay monthly. It said £28 a month. I was like, what? But that's a company selling the console and you pay monthly. I was like, oh, that's fine.
Yes, there is a thing for it. Yeah.
Yeah,
because when they first released the Xbox Series X and Series S, they gave you the option of paying it monthly, didn't they?
Yeah.
And which included Game Pass.
Yeah, that's what I just saw. Yeah.
For 2 years, I think it was.
Yeah, 24 months. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one.
See, I found the Xbox. Where is it? The 12-month pass for £100 for Ultimate, whatever it is, the whole 9 yards. So £100 for a year. Which that sounds like it's well worth it, even if you get one AAA title coming over, 2 AAA titles, and you're in happy land. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're not like the newest of games, but like I know for like now, Red Dead 2's on there, Skyrim Collector's Edition. There's a lot of big named games that you could pick up pretty cheap, but I like the aspect that I can just download it, see if I like it, try it out.
Yeah.
If I don't like it,
I like my games.
Same with like Little Nightmares. You did that, didn't you?
Yeah.
I just like to physically own my games. That's just the way I am, though.
Yeah, me too. I've never subscribed to any online service like that.
No, I do. I agree with that. I do. Like, I'd rather own them, but with modern games, I don't know about PlayStation, but with Xbox anyway, you buy the disc and then you just put it in, and it just takes about 2 months to install and download all the updates.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're not actually.
The awkward bit is the copying.
Yeah.
I forget exactly how everything works, but I'm pretty sure the PS5 is faster than the Series X for certain stuff.
I would imagine it is.
I'm not
the hard drive.
Noticing. Yeah, it's got that crazy like proprietary hard drive. The Xbox has got more RAM and stuff, and I think the processor is slightly stronger, but the read-write speeds of the proprietary hard drive are bonkers.
Yeah.
So I was going to buy Wii Happy Few.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, it went back up, didn't it?
Yeah.
It went back up to full price as well.
40 odd quid or not?
Well, it was like 50 or something, isn't it, in the store? What? And then there's like a collector's edition, which is like 60 something. So I was like, oh, I was literally on the verge of getting it.
Oh, no.
I must have missed it because I wanted to check what the speeds were like.
Yeah.
Because you said it took ages to get into a level. Like
anything I was kind of
playing,
excited to hear what the differences would have been.
Yeah. All these PS4 games are like nearly instantaneously loading.
Man.
It's brilliant. But yeah, I can't believe that went straight back up to that much.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Well, they'll have sales over Easter and stuff,
definitely.
won't they? So
yeah, it'll come back. So not the end of the world. Just a slight delay on my plans.
You got a year still. It's fine.
Yeah, close. I don't want to remove any games from my list, but I feel like I will take a couple off at some point where they're not for me. So
yeah, fair enough.
You don't want to waste your time with something that you don't really want to do.
No, exactly.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah. that's that.
Cool. You done with your news?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I didn't really have anything like I've already like I partially mentioned that Cyberpunk had their biggest patch to date.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned a lot of the good stuff, and then the Xbox thing. So
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
About
talking like I think it was last week or something like that. We were talking about like randomizers and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I actually have you heard of a Super Metroid Link to the Past randomizer?
Yes, I have.
I had never heard of this. That sounds absolutely amazing. The fact that you can like swap between the two games and they kind of interlink with one another.
Yeah, it's mental.
yeah,
Absolutely insane.
people do some crazy things with some old games.
Yeah, just
Did we had I mentioned to you guys or spoken to you guys about the let's call it like the save state versions of those games on the
Yeah.
Switch thing?
Yeah.
With the extra, with all
yeah.
the like added weapons
Yeah,
and things.
so it feels very similar to things like that, where
That's
they go
really
above
cool.
and beyond and rewrite the coding and such.
Yeah. Also, have you hered of the Wayback Machine online? Basically,
No.
these guys are documenting every part of the internet since its beginning to now, and obviously it's taking a little while to do. But there's this website where you can. A part of the website is the Wayback Machine, where you can go back to any point in time, and it will show you browsers and websites from that era.
Okay.
Now they have added a new proxy service where you can change your internet settings, and depending on what proxy number you put into the settings of that, it will change the date which your browser will look up. So if you change it to like 95, everything you look up on the internet will be from 1995.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like that.
That's absolutely amazing. It sounds like such a genius idea. And there's this like retro gaming, retro computer place. I can't remember where it was, probably in the Netherlands or something like that. I probably should have researched that a bit better. But apparently he set up all his computers so that if you do go and browse on the internet, you go back to a certain era.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely crazy.
Nice.
Like that would be really cool, and putting that in like some kind of a thing for children to like learn about history.
Yeah.
You know, like you could, if they were like, well, I remember back in school doing a thing about World War II where we all had to dress up like we were then. They proper piled it on at school, and they had like people come in and essentially they made it out so that the school that you'd gone back in time and you had to recreate what they had to go through almost.
Right.
Obviously nowhere near as severe, but
I hope not.
Sounds like
but
the episode
it
of
was
Sabrina the Teenage Witch where they went to the Salem witch trials. Good episode.
I love that program.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I could imagine something like that, but then all the computers are back to an older time, and it'd be like, this is what they would have had.
Documented all the old websites, so you could even find some of your old like GeoCities sites and stuff like that you've made if you went back there and see if they've actually documented those yet.
Wait a minute.
What?
So there is a Final Fantasy guidebook that no longer works. Now you might think this is a little bit silly, but this was linked to web pages that don't no longer exist.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, to see the next part of the game, go to this URL, and then they removed the website.
Oh, okay.
Is there some way in hell that these web pages still?
Sean can go back in time.
Well, I mean, it would make the guidebook usable because the guidebook currently doesn't work. I've got it.
I can't believe that they thought that was a good idea.
Well, that's when the internet was a thing, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, but everybody knew that nothing was going to last on it. It was just going to grow and grow, and it would be lost.
I don't know. I think I've got it here somewhere. But yeah, it's the guidebook for Final Fantasy IX. It keeps telling you to reference websites. And then all of a sudden one day they went, no, you don't need it anymore.
Wow.
We're like, thanks.
Be like, whoops, delete.
Yep.
Wrong button.
But I suppose there's a web page on this place that can simulate dial-up internet for the children.
Yeah, the noise.
Just the speed of it, make them sit there.
I miss that.
Like dial-up mode.
I still remember when we first got broadband, and that was a massive deal.
Well, we had 56k, but then we got ISDN, which was a lot more expensive. I think it went up to like 7 megabytes a minute. Yeah.
Was that kind of the step in between broadband and 56k?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't really worth it. The website is called archive.org. So if you go there, you can search. It actually gives you a URL when you first load up the page, so it might be worth typing it in there, Sean, if you can find them later, and seeing if
I might have to have a look. I've got to go and get the book.
Archive that website, because that'd be really, really interesting. Next, I wanted to know if Chris, have you seen the PS4 Hitman console?
No console. No.
There was a special console created.
Oh my god, I want it.
Yeah, it looks exactly like a briefcase.
That is amazing.
And it looks absolutely insanely cool. I had never heard of this until recently, and it doesn't even look anything like a PS4.
I don't care if I wouldn't use it. I want it. I want it on my shelf.
That's just mad. Absolutely mad.
What's that written on it? Does it have something written on it?
It does. It says Hitman and then some other stuff, but it's too small for me to see.
Does it say Hitman or Hitman?
It says Hitman.
Good, I'll buy it.
Hit M''N. Yeah.
That's perfect.
That's exactly what it says.
It's
if it doesn't say that, you need to put a post-it note over the top of it.
Grammatically perfect.
Get Sean to 3D print me a little apostrophe and then glue it on.
Yeah. Turns out you order one and you're like, in the order notes, can you scrub out 90% of the A?
Have you heard of the Pokemon card sale? The original first gen Pokemon cards that sold for $408,000.
Yeah.
Which is like the highest selling cards that have ever been sold at auction. And you know about those ones that happened a little while ago where the people got duped and they were fake.
No.
They were like resealed cards. It was there was an unboxing live on YouTube, and they had they'd resealed this first gen packet of cards, and there were like ones from 2020 in there, and they would all open inside, and it was
they heat shrinked it, didn't they? And resealed the pack with like a heat thing.
I don't think it was, because it was so well done. They had these experts there, and they couldn't figure out that it was actually fake until they had opened it.
Because I follow a Facebook group we do with Pokemon trading cards, and a lot of people on there, and they're the people on there who are buying the old ones and paying like $2-3 grand for one card, and they're saying that a lot of people were getting like lighters and things and melting the tops and then sticking them together, and it looked, and they did show some photos of them, and it looked like they were properly sealed. It was amazing how well.
Just the card packs, not the box, I'm guessing.
Yeah, just the actual blister packs. Yeah, they were like heating them up, and then they'd made like a little tool out of metal which had the little crinkles in it.
Yeah,
and then they
that's clever.
And then they jammed it shut, and it looked like it had gone through the actual machine, like it would have from the factory.
Wow.
And then they were selling. They were doing exactly that. They were opening, but they were opening up like old cards, taking out like the good ones that they wanted, like they're taking out like the Charizards and the ones that are worth a lot, putting a really shit rare one back in, and then sealing it and selling them.
That happens a lot more often than you expect. Like, I literally don't buy anything except sealed box product for trading card games anymore. It honestly just happens so often. It's crazy.
And they're so like how well these people have done it, and they literally used a piece of metal and a lighter. That's nothing high tech at all.
Oh dear.
So 400k for this Pokemon box, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, get ready for some new news next week, probably. There are 4 days left on a PSA graded 10.
Wow, 10.
Perfect Mint Black Lotus from Magic the Gathering. It's got 4 days left. It's currently at 310,000.
Wow.
It's signed as well. So
you very rarely see 10s.
Exactly. And this is from 1993, the first thing. It's on eBay. It's got 4 days left, because I know a story came up recently, like one hit 250k, and I was like, oh, but you said it was the most expensive thing, so I've got a funny feeling this will crack it.
But it
Oh,
already
okay.
has done. If it's at 310. Did you
Well,
say?
no,
Oh,
that
410, did you say?
That box of, no, it's at 310. That
Oh,
box of
310.
cards, it's had 103 bids as of right now.
Damn. Wasn't there a Charizard first edition sold for like $500,000?
That was
Nah, I
Jake
think the
Paul or
Charizards were
something,
going
or
for like
something?
40, 50k.
Maybe it's 50 then. And now I've added a 0. That's quite significant.
Like in theory, the only thing to get close to the Pokemon box will be the Black Lotus.
Yeah.
It's just quintessential.
I remember what it was.
is.
There was a Pokemon card called
The Illustrator.
the Illustrator. Yeah, there was like 3 made.
50k.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a lot of
they're
money,
like 40,
wasn't it?
50k a piece. But yeah, this Black Lotus has gone up on eBay as a PSA 10 graded.
That alone is immense. That's literally out of the pack straight into an airtight container.
Yeah,
Like instantly.
Yeah, but all that grading stuff is bullshit.
happens with video games as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they set the market. That's why they put them up at such high grades or low grades.
It's quite
Yep.
expensive to get them graded though, isn't it?
It can
Yeah,
be,
it can cost a good chunk of money as well. I mean,
Yeah,
there's a
because I've got quite a few.
What graded?
I've got quite. I know. I want to. I've got quite a few Pokemon cards. Like I've got a full set of base, jungle, and fossil from the original. All they were all straight out of packs into the folders, so they're probably about
They're
a 9 or
probably-
an 8.
Well, they'll be worth money if they're first edition. That's probably the long and
No.
short of that. I don't know
No,
if
they're
the
not.
non-first editions count anymore. But
Okay.
to give you an idea, there is a Beckett graded, which is a different grading company, Lotus as well, on eBay, and the buy it now is 270k.
Oh.
This is only a 9 though.
Yeah.
I know.
I
I say only a 9.
I don't think I've seen. I don't think I've seen in very. It'd be single digits. How many 10s I've come across?
Yeah, it's just crazy. Absolute gem mint. And yeah, 103 bids, $310,500.
Wow.
So get ready for that news next week.
Woo! Excited already.
When that,
I just don't get how
that should
someone
be-
could spend that much money on a card. Like, I get it's collectible. I get it's like if you're into that stuff. Like, but I wouldn't spend that much on a Zelda product. That's the kind of that's my big
Are
passion.
you sure?
No, I wouldn't.
Because you don't have that much money. If they've got that much disposable income, then
Yeah,
what's
but
stopping them from doing it?
I guess it's not. Yeah, but some people are going to be remortgaging their house and stuff to buy stuff like that.
No, they're not the people that are going to be buying these. Trust
Do
me.
you think?
These are the
Yeah,
kind of people
no,
that
there are investors.
they're looking to spend the money so that they don't have to pay tax on that money. Spending on something like this.
Yeah, I guess.
And then this will only appreciate in value.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. It'll be an investment, definitely, but
Unless
it's
they
just
open it or burn
extortionate.
it.
That'd be hilarious.
That would. I would love to see that.
That's the sort of thing like one of the
Eat
top
it.
YouTubers would do. That I bought this 50 grand thing, and I'm now going to
Nom
burn
nom nom
it.
nom.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
tasty.
let's
It's
see
my
what it
cat
tastes.
eating it.
Oh, you know what? I see
Yeah.
it with some hot sauce and some ghost chili peppers. Put it on TikTok. Charizard.
Blended Charizard with
Will it blend?
Will it blend?
You're there forcing a box of Pokemon cards in a blender. Sealed first edition base set. Will it blend? Gone.
Oh dear. Quickly, while we're on the topic of Pokemon cards, a funny thing. There's it's a while back now. There was a YouTuber I used to watch, and she did a video of unboxing and things. And every now and then, she would do, I can't remember what she called it, but she would pick a pack at random and slice through the corner with a pair of scissors before she opened it. And she did it with one pack, and it was like a rainbow. What was it? Rainbow Rayquaza or what it was back then, which is worth like £300.
And she,
Yep.
Well, that was stupid, wasn't it?
But it was brilliant watching her face, being like, "What do we get?"
Some
Whoopsie.
people are just idiots.
Why
Yes.
do that?
Right, I had
Yep.
one last bit of news.
Go on.
Have you seen the meme about all the N64 cartridges games could fit on a Switch cart?
No.
no.
Basically, yeah, they could quite easily.
Wow.
They hold 32 gigabytes Switch carts.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
And N64 hold 5.5 gigabytes. So yeah,
So every game ever created is 5.5 gig total.
for N64.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a little disappointing in a weird way.
I do also have the numbers for all Nintendo consoles. The NES was 237 megabytes. Kilobytes? No, megabytes. SNES was 1.7 gig. N64 5.5. GameCube was 867 gigabytes. So,
It's not even a terabyte.
They bulked out though, because the GameCube games, quite a lot of them were, and same with Wii actually, a lot of them were used with filler. I know Wii Sports, for example, used a 4.7 gig DVD disc, but the file was only 300 meg.
Plus the fact that they had a lot of crap on the Wii.
Yeah, they did. But to put that into context, how many gigs did you say that was?
Which
800 and something? Was that the Wii? Or the GameCube, sorry.
Cube was 867.
My current install for Cyberpunk is 108 gig or something. That one game is like an eighth of that library.
And then you think about how much hard drive space the new Xbox and PlayStations have.
I checked mine today. I've only got 97 gig left.
It's not even enough for one game.
Yeah.
You couldn't even put Donut County on that. Not that you would
don't want to.
You probably could.
No, we can't. It doesn't fit.
It's probably less space than your woodcutter.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say it is. That's what I was then going to say. Yeah, it is actually. Woodcut Simulator is 500 and something megabytes, and Donut County is like 280.
Anyway, the Wii has a massive step up from the 800 gigabytes of the GameCube. It's 6.56 terabytes.
The Wii started using dual layer discs for a couple of games as well.
Yeah, and they had a lot of shovelware. A lot of shovelware. A lot. Game Boy and the Game Boy Color, they're put together for some weird reason. 568 megabytes. Game Boy Advance was 8.4 gigabytes.
Wow.
Nintendo DS, I'm not sure if this probably includes 3DS, 83.2 gigabytes. So in total, that is 7.5 terabytes for every Nintendo game.
Wow.
It's not a lot, is it?
No, it's really not.
For every, you think of how many games there are.
Yeah, well, the Wii definitely going up above and beyond with 6.5 terabytes.
Yeah, well, to be fair, like you say, the Wii, every possible franchise leapt on board with a motion-controlled version of their game, and
exactly. I found out I've got Resi 4. I probably mentioned this the other day for the Wii, and I really want to try that out on the Wii.
It's good. It's good. It's good on the Wii. I quite liked it.
Plus, I want to get that Samus. What was it?
The Prime Collection.
Yeah. I really want to try that.
That's really
I found it much better on Wii. It's obviously very good on GameCube, but yeah, it is even better. The controls feel more made for it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, you feel more like
because literally because you're holding a thing in your right hand that feels like a gun sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I don't think it feels like any more at home than it does with her. Maybe in another sort of shooterish game, but very at home. It's good. I like it.
Awesome. So, are we done for news?
Yeah. My seat's shrunk down again. I just noticed. I just looked at the camera and I'm half a head.
On next week's podcast, not you.
You've just seen my hair.
Oh, I did just want to mention, just before we started recording, I was watching some YouTube videos. Have you guys heard of Zanny?
Nope.
Zanny. You should check out. I watched a Hitman and Cyberpunk video of his, and he is absolutely hilarious. I very much recommend watching him. Right, before we start, we had a message about couch co-op games is what we're talking about this week. And Damien McCarthy on the Facebook page said, sadly, couch co-op is a dying genre nowadays, well, especially during COVID. Modern times, I'm going to go with Borderlands. Retro, I'll go in Mario Kart or Bomberman.
Yeah.
They're all very good choices there.
Very, very good.
Yep.
Yeah. So who wants to go first?
I don't
Who
mind.
went first in the news? Right. Sean, you're first today.
I guess I'm first then. Yeah. So my list is a little bit more extensive than I imagined it would be. I just kept remembering things and adding to it and adding to it. But I've got a funny feeling a lot of the games I will mention, we will all mention.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if I think I've got one really obscure game, and yeah, everything else is pretty.
It's
pretty
basically going to be
sustainable.
like a little game of bingo and see who can
Yeah.
fill their line up first.
But
I
what I
tried
did
to be a
is
little bit different.
I subcategorized mine because like there are certain games where I feel like you can feel co-op gaming evolve. Because at the minute, co-op gaming is not cooperative. Like all these multiplayer games we have in this day and age, like let's say 90% of them, for argument's sake, they're not co-op. They are you versus everyone else.
Yeah.
You're not. I mean, a lot of these games did add modes to be cooperative, but in their infancy, they were. Yeah, it's just you. I mean, while it is multiplayer, it's not. It's just not the same. So, I categorize my list sort of with that in mind. But and then I've got some that we can discuss whether or not they actually count or not. Because I was like, I remember sort of playing these multiplayer-ish. So I'm trying to think. My first ever foray though into multiplayer gaming was probably Super Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you guys, but yeah, that was the era that it all kicked off for me. I'm not quite sure what came after it, but I definitely remember playing it with my cousin. Because he had the Super Nintendo, so I went round and we jammed Super Mario Kart a good chunk, and I remember falling off the maps a lot. I cannot remember how old I was when I was playing it. All I can remember is that was the first game. It's probably why I have such a dear love for the console, though. That was the one I was brought up with.
Yeah, the SNES was a bit early for me because I wasn't into Nintendo at that point, so I don't have any experience with NES or SNES at all.
Yeah, see, my Sega experience is like next to zero. That's what I think. Like I'm on the opposite end of that. I played I've got it on my list, playing a little bit of like Sonic and Tails, sort of cooperative stuff where you drag the other person along.
Sonic Mania, definitely Sonic Mania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't get as excited about Sonic stuff as I used to. Sadly, Sonic's he's lost his way. But first off, yeah. So I used to play a lot of Mario Kart. Bomberman 2 used to be quite a big thing for me, but Bomberman used to be on the Game Boy Advance for me because that's where they had the 4-player link cable.
Yes, awesome.
So while these are the sketchy ones, while this doesn't count, there used to be a place I used to go to pretty much every single Saturday night. I used to go there with my dad and whatnot. And one of my other cousins would be there, one of his friends would be there, and somebody else. And we just used to go and sit away in the corner and play Bomberman.
Fair enough.
We also used to play, have Pokemon fights and stuff as well. So that was another one. Does that count?
It does.
Yeah, it's
and I think
interaction still, isn't it?
It is
more
physical.
Effort put into something to set that up because you all have to have the game.
Yeah. Well, this happened more with Pokemon Red and Blue. We had link cables and old school Game Boys, and we used to trade and fight and whatnot. But Bomberman was my first foray into 4-player gaming anyway. I remember that with the whole everyone having to sit so close because you got
the cables were so short. Yeah.
But it was really good. Like I can't fault it. I had a really good time with it.
Yeah.
I can't remember what other games I used to play 4-player on the Game Boy Advance. I'm pretty sure Mario Kart again was on there. Super Circuit?
Yes,
Super Circuit.
That's my favourite GBA game. I
Is
love
it?
that game.
I cannot pick a favourite Game Boy Advance game.
Well, that's probably
a
one of
tough
the
one.
only ones I played because I skipped the Game Boy Advance. I was only into the original Game Boy, really.
Yeah. Then from there, I've got more games on the N64 than I thought I would, considering I never had one.
Yeah, but everybody's had a friend that had one. So.
Yeah, so like there was Smash Bros, there was Mario Party,
Yep.
there was F-Zero. Although I don't remember if the F-Zero on the N64 was multiplayer.
Yes, it was.
I remember more playing GX on the GameCube, and because that was 4-player, that one.
Yeah.
And so GX as well has got a really cool thing. You know that you could take your memory cards with their files and put them into the arcade machines.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Never got to do that, but yeah, you could
Wow.
take all your everything you'd created and plugged it into the arcade version of the. I've never even seen one of these machines in the real. So.
Wow, that's amazing.
No, I can't remember. But yeah, I heard that on a podcast a little while ago. I
Yeah.
completely forgot
So you
about
can just
it.
take your save data along with you and carry
Yep,
on.
you go and plug it in and play on the
What?
arcade machines, which is
That's-
really mental.
That is
Yeah.
mad.
But the other thing with F-Zero is that I don't know if you guys have played the GameCube one at all, if much.
No, I haven't.
No.
So me and my friends live on the red line in that game. You can exchange your life bar for boost.
Okay.
Okay.
And we just end up hammering the crap out of that button, putting ourselves down to 1 hit from death, and then racing. While we might be drinking as well. So I have some very fond memories of F-Zero GX. Being very drunk,
Wow.
not having much health, and like just
Trying to stay on live.
living the adrenaline rush. But then again, the same sort of games on the GameCube also pop back up. Mario Strikers then pops up.
I never had a chance to play
I never
that.
played it. I mean, that was a massive at the time. I remember there was loads of publicity around it.
Yeah.
I never actually played
Those
it.
are cool. Those are slightly disjointed football games, in like they have a different momentum and like a different flow.
Yeah.
Like there's moments where the game slows down and stuff. But again, that was a good laugh. The GameCube is an absolute beast for multiplayer.
Yeah.
I've got Phantasy Star Online on there because that is where I played all my multiplayer.
Yay.
Because you could sit down on the couch, four players on the same screen. You'd all have to decide which character. You're all like, let's all build a new character, and then you're all like, yeah, let's all go from level 1 and
Still
choose
got
your
all my characters.
I found a whole bunch of PS1 memory cards the other day. I don't know what's on them.
I'll lend you a PS1 if you want.
I've got a PS2 up there. I've still got. So there's a PS2 there. Just above my finger.
Yeah, I see.
There's Harvest Moon in there, but I didn't take the disc out before I took all the cables out.
So
it's only a figure of 8 shotgun lead, isn't it? So you just plug the power in.
Yeah, it's effort.
Rip it out.
Yeah, it's effort. I just forgot to do it, but
it's safe in there.
It is safe. It's where I know it is.
Yeah, it's protected. It's not going to get scratched.
Exactly. So yeah, I played an absolute ton of GameCube games on multiplayer. I was trying to think of some of the other ones I did, but again, it was F-Zero, Mario Strikers, Mario Party, Smash Bros. Again. I don't think I did any Rock Band or Guitar Hero on there. I saved all that for Xbox 360. I do remember playing a lot of Time Splitters 2 on GameCube.
Yes, me too.
Because
I'd forgotten about that until you just mentioned it.
Yep, 4-player Time Splitters on GameCube.
Amazing game.
I can't remember if I'm presuming the PS2 one was as well.
I don't know, actually. I never played that one.
It sounds really, really obvious if it either is or isn't. I'm sure it would have been.
I think I've got it, but I'm not sure. Yeah, because you'd have to use a multi-tap, wouldn't you?
Yeah, the GameCube was just so handy. And then playing Four Swords, Crystal Chronicles.
Yes. I remember...
The list is just expansive.
In college, there was a place called Long Street, which is a cafe, and my friend would bring his GameCube and his little screen attached to it, and we'd play Smash Bros all the time on that.
It's great. It's
just impossible to play on one of those screens. So.
Yeah, like 3 inches across.
Yeah.
Like playing Smash Bros now on like a 50-inch screen is so nice. But yeah, that is such a lost thing where we all sort of sit down and just tussle on the sofa while you're playing games, or playing a co-op game, like working together on it and all.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, as soon as COVID is over, I'm going to set up a load of consoles in my lounge and we're just going to play on that.
Just play stuff, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Anything.
Like I did before, Chris.
Yeah, that's really good. Really good.
Well, we'll get the marathon going. That will be a load of 4-player games.
Yeah, and I think as well, I think as you're saying like Mario Kart's a good example. And I think I said it last week, is that it adds like being able to like see the reactions of people you're around when you've hit them with shells or whatever. It makes it more fun.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Mm.
When I'm playing Mario Kart with a shell, I get more fun out of annoying her by cutting her up or trying to ram her off the course than I do playing the game. It's just it's
I
not.
love a good gaming party. I
Yeah.
just can't fault it.
Yeah.
Just having
Yeah.
everything available, like
Exactly.
some fighting games, some driving games, just party games, music games.
Yeah,
Just
bit
have a
of
bit
everything.
of everything and just bring everybody. I don't care. Just bring
Yeah.
everyone.
Hell yeah.
So I'm going to go backwards slightly because we'll segue from our time splitters PS2. Two other games that stand out for PS1 are I played a hell of a lot of Team Buddies, which was mentioned in our
Yeah.
band game episode because that was a 4-player multi-tap job.
Yeah.
And I played
That
a hell
looked
of a lot.
amazing.
Oh yeah, it is absolutely hilarious. Like that is one game that if we somehow couldn't get it, would be well worth like making a ROM of it or something. And
Is that the one that had what was
these
it?
voice lines.
Yeah, the really like weird accents and
Yep.
things. Yeah,
The
that was
the
funny.
British team that did the accents for every country going.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, we could just do all our own voices.
But to be fair, if I could get the ROM, couldn't I just burn that onto disc? Because I've got a chipped PlayStation.
Oh, that works.
Yeah. Because that game is expensive. I remember looking it up when you mentioned it because I really wanted it.
You could put it on your little Raspberry Pi handheld. That does PlayStation.
I could do, and then I could smash my head into it until I bled.
I love bringing that thing up as much as I can to remind you.
Waste of money that was. Sorry, carry on, Sean.
I've been looking at retro machines anyway, like a handheld one, but I haven't decided whether or not I want to build something or buy something pre-built. But that might be a discussion for another episode.
Yeah,
there's some really cool stuff out there.
There really is.
The other PlayStation 1 gem you guys have probably never heard of, but I think I mentioned once before, was a game called Blazing Blade.
That sounds familiar, but I don't know. What's that one?
4-player RPG. But what you do is you effectively roll for characters, because when you create a new character, you literally roll dice and get extra stats.
Okay.
So it had like this weird sort of RPG element. And then the game I'm trying to think of like Phantasy Star Online, except the camera is more restrictive. Like you all have to stay on the same screen. It's not 4 set. Like the screen is not split into 4.
Like Four Swords.
Yeah, it's everyone. Yeah, everyone on the same screen, except it's got like these old school Final Fantasy type graphics, and there's different character classes and then different races to go along with it. I don't remember what the story was. Not at all. We just went around chopping stuff up, casting spells, and
that sounds like good fun.
It might be terrible now, but it was.
But back in the what
in
you remember
hindsight.
it?
I haven't played that game in maybe 20 years. So again, it might be something worth looking at, but I think the controls are terrible. I'm not going to lie. I don't think they're great. And then there were certain features and functions we never worked out in the game because we were young.
Yeah, like
you just continue and just.
But my friend had it, so we played it, and that's how we got onto that. Then my list starts to deviate. I can't forget this, can I? I've played an absolute metric ton of Rock Band and Guitar Hero multiplayer.
Yep.
To me, those count more than anything.
Yes.
They are the ones, like, you are always working as a team.
Yeah.
And there's not much more else to say about them, but everyone knows what they're like. If you haven't experienced playing as a full band, it's definitely something you should do. It's just good fun. You can have a laugh, have a drink, whatever.
Definitely agree with that.
Yeah,
you don't even need to know what you're doing. That's really fun.
Yeah, I think it's better if you don't, because it's more funny.
Yeah, everyone can play in different difficulties and whatever, and you can just rotate around your instruments and play different things. And yeah, like smashing out Rock Band 3 would be one of my first to-do things probably post-COVID.
Definitely.
It's got the most instruments to choose from, and I've got probably the biggest the biggest song library on it.
How many instruments does it have then?
You can have 7 players at once.
Wow!
Yeah, because that's the one with the keyboards, isn't it?
Yeah, so guitar, bass, keys, drums, main vocals, and then 2 harmonic vocals.
What?
Not every song has the compatibility for them, but you can play Bohemian Rhapsody with 7 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the songs from Rock Band 1 and 2, if they have a key part, they haven't been reprogrammed.
No.
They didn't update any of the old lane layouts. So yeah, I can't forget those. Then we move into this kind of era of multiplayer, but not together. So I've got like Diablo on my list because I played Diablo online a lot. Diablo 2, I should say. World of Warcraft, same thing. But I've also played those games effectively as couch gaming. because I've played Warcraft in the same room as someone else.
LAN party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
LAN parties, isn't it? Yeah, exactly.
That counts.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
counts.
Yeah. So, and then on the other end of that, you can also do the same thing with like Rocket League. And I was doing the same thing with Scott Pilgrim this week while I was working.
For that
Rocket
very
League's
brief
really
period
cool,
of
though.
time.
So I don't know, did you download Rocket League yet for your Switch?
I have not.
Have you?
I have not turned
You
it
haven't
on
played
yet. No.
It's multiplayer off one Switch.
Okay, how does that work then?
You just have one Joy-Con each.
Is it split
Hey.
screen then?
Yep.
Oh,
And then both of you can go online on one console.
well, that's pretty
That's
So you
clever.
can, I think you can fill out an entire team with 4 Switches. I don't know if because you can get 4v4 games.
cool. Mm.
So normally most people play 2s or 3s, and then a lot of people play 1v1 duels, but I'm not sure if the Switch can do the full 4v4 off like a LAN, like a networked, Bluetooth ranged set of switches, and obviously they've got 2 controllers apiece, so that
Yeah.
might be something worth looking into. But I've done it. I can't remember where I did it. I think I did it like on the coach or something, the Comic-Con ones. I was like, anyone want to play some Rocket League?
That's so cool.
Because you can still play against the computer.
Yeah.
And the AI got better, or you can play against each other on the same console.
That's
So
pretty
the
cool.
Rocket League multiplayer is really good. Like they give you plenty of options for it, and
That's very
they
cool.
backfill with AI. So outside of those kind of can be LAN or have been LAN or can be LAN games, I've now brought you into the modern world of modern gaming, where you sit miles and miles apart, but you sit on chat parties like we are now, just without the screen. And then my list then deviates into playing Genshin Impact, Warframe, and Overwatch. I have not played those games physically with anybody because you'd need 2 TVs, 2 PlayStations.
Yes.
It just doesn't work as easy as it does with other things that I've mentioned, like having 2 switches next to each other's piece of piss. Having 4 Game Boy Advances with the link cable, easily done. Well, it was in those days. Everyone had one. But yeah, that's where multiplayer gaming has gone now. And then even deeper than that, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Apex Legends, they're all multiplayer, but not.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just the way things.
Yeah, they are multiplayer, but you're not actually.
They do. They have added teams to these games.
I get you. Yeah.
And to be fair, it's a lot more inclusive because if people can't, for some reason, like lug their console about, or perhaps they're physically incapable of leaving the house, like during COVID, then it's still a really good way to socialize.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wouldn't fault it for the world. There's a mate of mine I play with nearly every single night, and that's the only way we'd play.
Yeah,
Like,
that's cool.
We just like, it's not really worth it or efficient or just any good. Like, people don't have time these days, and especially as we are adults. Wait, let me quotation mark that. Adults, like you don't have. It's not after school. You don't go and like invite friends around after school anymore, do you? Or
No.
Exactly.
go places and like go to the arcade or anything. And because even to me, going to the arcade and playing House of the Dead 3, that to me is like fringe couch gaming.
Yeah.
Because I went and played with someone. But gaming has evolved, sadly. It's lost a little bit of its intimacy. But what we can do now, I think is worth the trade-off.
I think it's gone from like meeting up with your friends to playing Call of Duty and having an 8-year-old call you a dickhead.
Oh, don't worry. Someone the other day told me my mum was in prison.
That's the best they can come up with.
Well, I think that was their broken English. They were like, haha, your mum's in prison or something.
Oh,
and I was like, oh, damn.
You got me right here, blood.
Rocket League is a little bit toxic.
There's one particular guy on Call of Duty, and he just basically reads the Bible to you.
Oh, I love it.
But then we went on there like a week later, and he was basically asking people to put a hit out on his wife.
What?
I've recorded it all because I think I sent it. I think I sent it to Ben. I think.
I don't remember hearing
no?
that. I think that's
Oh,
something I would remember.
I've definitely recorded
Yeah.
it. It's on my phone. I filmed it because I was like, "This is hilarious," and like, I'm not going to be able to relive this moment. But he was basically going on about how his wife has defiled the law, and Satan now requires her to visit, and all this crap is. And then he was like, "I will pay anybody here who will kill my wife." I was
Wow. Oh, you've had enough internet for one day, my friend.
like,
Internet privileges revoked.
he's brilliant.
Yeah, honestly, Rocket League's a little bit bad for it. Like, all it takes, right, is for someone to score, and then someone on that team to put the 2 letters EZ into the chat, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, like your mum."
Boom.
Be like, "Yeah, it's what your mum said." And that's how my mum ended up in prison. I don't even remember how it got to that. I'll be honest, but I don't know why it was prison. And their English was all right, but it wasn't ideal.
Clearly wasn't accurate enough.
Rocket League explains some really random words as well. I can't. There's certain words that it will not show up. It will show up in stars. So what I started doing is I started typing in stars, so it looked like my entire sentence was swear words, but I hadn't typed the real single word. And they're like, "What did you say?"
You heard me.
I was like, "You heard me," and I started typing out I was even putting stars on 2-letter words, and they just couldn't crack it.
Oh, that's
So,
hilarious.
You got to troll the trolls.
I would
sometimes.
never have had the amount of like sense to have
Thought
doing
it
that.
through. Yeah, I was like, I
that's
wonder if I
brilliant.
could just type in like
That's amazing.
the blocked out characters, and I was like, "Oh, it works." I look like I'm just swearing at them lots. So we get some ups and downs with the multiplayer. You get the toxicness now, but we can play anywhere in the world with anyone in the world at any time.
And instantly as well. It's like,
But it's just not the same as you're all sitting on the same couch or
No.
around the same Game Boys playing Bomberman, scowling at your friend as they keep blowing the fuck out of you.
Well, that's why we get such good feedback at events that we do. Because
Yeah.
people are just
Yeah.
like, we're not used to this. You know.
Yeah.
It's
There are
really
some kids that
cool.
will have never have done it.
yeah, that's what we
exactly.
find, isn't it? Is that
Yeah.
a lot of the times the kids will be like things like Smash Bros or whatever. That's always massively popular, isn't it?
Oh yeah, because 8
There's
players.
crowds of children around the TV all playing then.
and loads of people just watching it as well.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
even things that I found with the events is that parents playing games with the kids.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be, things like Sonic or whatever. There's like no back from then. There's no you've got one button to jump, one button to move,
Yeah.
and you can just work together and go through it. It's not complicated at all.
Exactly.
We were just privileged enough to grow up in the era where we transitioned through all of it.
Yeah, we have
'Cause
been very lucky.
I don't think it gets any different to this. Like, I think this is the peak multiplayer. Like, in theory, VR is next.
I was going to say, yeah.
But all that really does is add an avatar. And even then, people aren't. Yeah, adds the next the next level of realism.
Right, do you remember Second Life? You imagine doing that in VR, people would just completely lose their lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. We will end up in the Sword Art Online Ready Player One.
You just go into like a pod and that's an alternative world.
Yeah, we're really close to the top end of it. And then where does it go from there?
Yeah. Well, that thing we did in London, Ben, then the little pod things, that transported you to a little world.
Yeah.
And they had like heating and jets of air and all sorts, didn't they? So
that was pretty cool.
If you
all the feedback and stuff.
Yeah. So if you went into like a hot area of the map, the heating would come on, and you'd feel it like getting warm in front of you and things. And then when you turn away from it,
did that.
Mine did.
Are you sure it wasn't just psychological?
No,
they got him good.
No, they didn't. They definitely had heating. There were heating bars around the top of the pod.
Turns out it's people outside just messing with the
hair dryer
thermostats and stuff.
Somebody leaning over the top with a hairdryer. Quick!
Yeah, I like your version more.
They had like a circle of them, and then they all counted down, and then all turned them on. I'm tired.
I can tell. That is pretty much my life growing up, though, as a multiplayer gamer. So,
Some good choices in there, definitely.
Yeah, I've played games everywhere, I guess. Like on a couch, out in town, like on a coach, over the internet, but next to somebody. And yeah, not into VR yet, but maybe.
Yeah, I reckon given the right motivation, you would be.
Yeah, I just need some space for it, really.
Nah, true. Yeah.
Just a little bit of space. So
Yeah, so you don't do what people on YouTube do and launch yourself headfirst
Yeah,
into
exactly.
the TV.
I am not risking my TV. I cannot afford another one of them.
Yeah, if we come on to the stream next week and there's a big like bit of the TV just like smashed, we'll be like, Sean's got VR.
Yeah.
He had VR. He had to
Get
sell
home
buy a
and
new
at the
TV.
same time. So yeah, it's me.
Well done,
Well
dude.
done then, Chris.
Yeah, mine. I've just literally chucked a few together. I also put Guitar Hero Rock Band games because why not? They're brilliant. I put any of the Lego games because they're quite good for co-op play.
Yeah, they're not bad actually. Played the Batman one.
So
Yeah.
this is a
Batman
thing
one.
I've never done. I love Lego.
Hmm.
Don't like the games.
You don't like them?
No, because they don't feel like they need to be Lego.
I like the twist on it. I like the Lego Star Wars was the first one I played, and I love the storyline.
The best ever Lego game is Lego Racers.
I don't think I've played that.
You get to build your own
haven't
car, my friend, and that's why it's the
really
best
cool.
game.
I've done Pirates of the Caribbean Lego. That's really good. Yeah,
I played the Avengers one actually because I got it with my PS4.
Yeah,
I sold
I
that.
quite like it. I don't know. I didn't think I would like them, but they are quite addictive when you start them. Oh, and Harry Potter one. I've played the Lego Harry Potter games. They're good.
It's just a Harry Potter game though with a different skin.
Yeah, but it's not. It's Lego, so I can get around it. I'm not
but it's
playing
still
a Harry Potter.
You
I'm not playing a
just
Harry
agreed
Potter
with
game.
me.
No, I'm not playing a Harry Potter game. I'm playing a
is a
Lego
bloody-
game.
Okay,
No,
so
it's
it's a Lego
still
game
Harry
with a Harry
Potter.
Potter skin. Okay, can you like build your own castle?
No.
You lose.
What? Whatever.
Got him.
You can collect bricks,
What'd you do with them?
build things,
Predetermined things, right?
special things.
Special predetermined things
You build like cauldrons and things.
because you need the they're predetermined, aren't they?
Look, I win this argument. Right, moving on.
You on the debate team?
I would be amazing on a debate team.
You just rock up to the podium. I've won. See ya.
Well, it worked for Trump.
That's a sore subject, isn't it?
He's
We
got
could
a point.
we could lose 50% of our key demographic, I think, with some
Oh,
choice
well.
words.
Next, I've put down Mario Kart. Mainly for me, it was 64 Mario Kart. That's the first one I remember playing quite regularly.
Enough of that.
Sticking with N64, I know Ben's going to have this one, but GoldenEye, of course.
I don't think I had that on my list, actually. I thought it was too obvious.
Really?
Turns out that is his entire list. That is the only game on
That's
it.
just one game,
He was going to
GoldenEye.
just go through in-depth GoldenEye.
I remember playing a lot of co-op, multiplayer kind of GoldenEye. But
Yeah,
again,
you don't do co-op.
well, you could like share the controller.
Well, technically, I suppose you could, because there are two controller settings on the...
I genuinely used to do that. I used to play one player mode, and you'd do half the mission, and then swap a controller over. And the other person would finish it off.
Yeah, but you can play with two controllers as one person.
Oh yeah.
So you can use two analog sticks.
Yeah, I remember because
That's really, really good.
Yeah, I remember that. Final game I put down was Worms Armageddon. I remember playing a lot of that together. That was. And actually, I've also put the kind of Wii games, so like Wii Sports, Wii Play. They were quite good multiplayer games that.
And like Wii bowling and stuff like that. They were all so much fun. Everybody had those.
And like literally like small child to grandma could play it kind of thing. There was like you could all play together with those.
That's what made the Wii like one of the best-selling consoles ever.
Yeah. There
Even
was
though it was a pile of crap.
Yeah, there was like nothing technical to playing those games. They were just really simple, but really good for group activity.
Yeah.
So, like you playing them single would be like really boring, but they would.
Like one of the first consoles to bring in like health and stuff into it with the Wii board, and that's what they've done with the Ring Fit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Still got my Wii board.
Yeah.
I think I've got like 2, and Ben's got how many? Like 4?
4 or 5? I can't remember now.
Oh dear.
I'm not sure. I seem to collect them from odd places. I think my dad gave me his a couple of months ago. So, thanks.
When I
no
first
point in that.
I think I said to Ben before, I'm not sure, if you ever strip one of those down, the actual board is probably about the size of my phone. They're tiny boards, and it's just a big metal bar holding it together to make it look big.
And weigh it down.
And weigh it down so it doesn't like break
Those
when
things
you
are
jump
bloody
on it.
heavy, aren't they?
Yeah. But then the actual board, like the actual Wii board itself that does all the work is like literally like, I don't know, like 3 inches long. It's tiny.
Hey, 3 inches isn't tiny.
Wow.
I'm staying out of this conversation. Someone's going to get their feelings hurt, and it's not me.
And ain't me either, so yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I'll just, on that tangent, I'll fire over to you.
Cool. The first one on my list, I played through all of these briefly by myself on multiplayer, which was great fun. Actually, I was rather disappointed I couldn't find my copy of Jet Force Gemini, because I really wanted to try out the multiplayer in that, because I remember it being really, really good, like shooting teddy bears, and I have no idea where my game's gone. Any ideas, Chris?
What console is it on?
64.
I've never seen that
No,
cartridge.
damn it.
Never.
Where has it gone? God knows where that is.
I've got it on, but then you've got an Xbox, so I've got it on Rare Replay. You could have borrowed, but
No, I only want to play the original one, the really crappy margarine-covered screen one.
no, I've never seen that.
First game I've got on here is Pokemon Stadium. What I didn't realise when I first started playing that is you use the D-pad on the N64. I completely forgot about that. The party games on that are so much fun, though.
Yeah,
I can't believe I missed that off my list.
Me too.
Yeah, and I didn't realise it actually came out before Mario Party as well. So it's like Mario Party stole a few of those ideas.
Okay.
Mario Party was released in December 98, and this was released in August 98. So probably didn't steal the ideas because they're so close together. But the fact that it came out before Mario Party was that was very
I don't know why we hadn't had another Pokemon Stadium in such a long time.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, I never played Pokemon Stadium 2. Was that any good?
I don't remember. I only remember playing 1.
One was the best one.
Because there was Colosseum as well.
Yeah, you had Colosseum.
Oh, yeah.
And then most recently, the Wii tried to do a Pokemon Stadium, which was Battle Revolution, I think it was called.
Oh, really?
It was not good.
Oh. Was the Colosseum for the Cube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colosseum was more...
Because some of those Cube Pokemon games are rare now, and they're expensive.
They're very... Pokemon Gale's Darkness is like the second Pokemon Colosseum. That's like 120, 130 quid easy.
Woo! Damn.
Yep.
Yeah, but the mini games are just button bashing fun, kind of like the WarioWare and Mario Party kind of merged into one.
Yeah.
And you just collect points. It's like all the good parts from Mario Party without having to play the boring board game and get stars stolen from people because that sucked. The next one is Snowboard Kids. I spent a lot of time playing probably mostly one player Snowboard Kids, to be fair, because nobody really wanted to play it.
Never played it.
It's so much fun. You're just going down a ski slope. There's how many levels were there? 6 levels plus 3 extra unlockable levels and an extra character called Ninja. I did find a cheat code to unlock everything, which made it a bit more interesting, but I loved playing through that game and completing it all. This was Rumble Pack compatible as well, actually. You had different kind of power-ups as you go down. There's a blue and a red. The blue ones the red ones were more like missiles and stuff like that. You could turn people into snowmen, in which case they'd only be able to go straight forward. Or you could slap them, which was fun.
Sounds like a blue shell.
Yeah, pretty much. It was really good if they were about to go over a ramp, because you'd have to either collect coins to go through the power-ups, because you couldn't afford them otherwise. They cost 100 coins each, and for every coin you collect is 100 coins. Or you could do tricks over the ramps, and if you slap them as they were going over the ramps about to do a special trick, then you could stop them from getting so much money, which was cool. And then the blue power-ups for things like rocks or invisibility, just very Mario Kart-ish. It's kind of like Wave Race, in which if you wanted to do a tight corner, you'd have to press like diagonally down to the right or to the left. It gave a much better feel than just pressing left and right, because that's kind of more snowboardy. You have to kind of dig in to do those tight corners. And each end of the level, or end of each lap, you'd get to the stair lift at the bottom, and you have to go all the way up to the top. And if you were not the first person in the stair lift, if you're like right behind them, then you'd have to wait a certain amount of time for the barrier to go up again.
It sounds good.
Just go, so if there was someone behind you, then they could sneak in and it was a nightmare. But yeah, it was good fun if you were the first person. Usually about 3 laps, I think it was. But such a good game.
We'll have to do that one at the marathon.
Yeah. It takes a little while to get a hold of the controls, but it's definitely worth trying.
I've never played it.
My next one was Turret 2. I loved this game. The multiplayer is incredible, and they did the controls a lot better than GoldenEye did, because on this one you move with the C buttons, and you strafe with the C buttons as well, but you move forward and backwards with the C buttons, and then the analog stick is for looking around, so you can get a much more accurate shot without having to stop, press the R button to aim and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember the weapon select from Perfect Dark. If you keep A or B down, it shows up your inventory on the screen. You just press with the analog stick to the direction that your weapon is at. So you can pick a specific
quick
weapon.
select them.
Yeah, exactly. Which I found a lot better. The controls did take a little while to get used to, like moving with the C buttons is a bit weird, but it's much more intuitive once you actually get round to it. And the Y-axis is reversed by default. So an instant win in mine.
The important bit.
Exactly. And the R button was jump, which GoldenEye never did.
No, you didn't never.
No, you never jump on. One thing that did make me laugh, that when you start a multiplayer game of Turret 2, you start it by yourself. There's no other person in the level.
What?
Yeah, so you can join in the game just by pressing start on another controller. You could essentially just play a multiplayer game by yourself.
And wander around.
Drop in, drop out.
Yeah. There was a lot of fog in Turret 2, but I honestly don't think it took away from the gameplay at all. Probably added to the atmosphere, because you're basically shooting badass dinosaurs. So, Perfect Dark, because that had the cooperative and counter-operative modes, which I've mentioned before. Cooperative is where you play Joanna's sister, what was her name? Velvet Dark, who was actually going to have a sequel of her own, but that never came to fruition, unfortunately. But yeah, you could play either together in co-op, or counter-operative is one person would play one of the enemies, and once they're killed, they'd go to a different enemy in the level, and you'd have a significantly lower health than Joanna, obviously. The combat simulator is a hell of a lot of fun, basically the multiplayer, but you could play multiplayer by yourself, finally. All those GoldenEye people that loved GoldenEye that never had any friends could finally play multiplayer by themselves, which is great fun. It had preset challenges as well, which I didn't realise.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. Just like kill a meat enemy with this set of weapons. Plus, you could fully customize which weapons were used during the level, as opposed to GoldenEye, which is just like pistols or power weapons.
Yeah.
you could fully list all, I think, 5 weapons that could be used during the game.
That's cool.
Plus, I think I had the laptop gun in that, which was amazing. It's just like a sentry gun, which is great fun. And you can save your own weapon lists and game setup choices as well.
See, we need more stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
What might be worth looking into because you love that kind of. That sounds like you really enjoy that kind of customization.
Oh yeah.
So Overwatch added this feature in called the Workshop. They gave the people that played the game access to the game's code, basically.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so what people do is they build game modes in the Workshop, and then every now and again they add new features to the Workshop, like they let you change the heights of the characters or the hitboxes or something. They keep adding functionality and features. People have made entire new games inside of Overwatch.
What? That's incredible.
I played a mode where you would have to go around unlocking your abilities. Even they normally start open, and you could like buy power-ups which gave you more health or more damage, or your first ability or your second ability, or you could buy your ultimate.
Sounds like an
people have made it's great. People have made game modes where as you kill people, you get bigger and they get smaller, so it becomes harder to keep getting multiple kills and things.
Wow!
Like for customization, and they weren't even going to include this. They weren't naturally going to do it. But someone went, you know what? We can give them access to all the functionality and features. Should we just do it and see what they come up with? Most people use it for training regimes, but some of the stuff they've made in that is phenomenal. Someone came up with a mode where so it's 6v6 normally. They came up with a mode where all 6 characters are pinpointed to the same spot. Mm-hmm. So you're like this hulking mass of 6 bodies in one thing. I don't know if you've got like a joint health pool, but you literally walk around as like these giant, just cumulative messes of Overwatch pies, and you can just have this scrap which looks like it's 1-on-1, but it's really 6-on-6, but it's just on the spot.
That sounds like used in that
honestly some
indie
of the
game
stuff
Alone, where you kind of Little Nightmares thing. At the end, there's this like joint body of a thing, a mass of stuff. But I might have to get into Overwatch now. I'm definitely intrigued.
So I think Overwatch at the minute, it's like you can be had for like as low as £10 on the PC. But people they do their own like workshop codes, and obviously you can mess around with it. A lot of people, like I say, use it for training or for practice or for certain things. Like people made this thing up for practice and headshots. Like this is where it all started from. I think they made this mode where only headshots dealt damage. And cool. One of the characters can't deal headshots. She doesn't have a headshot multiplier. So they made that to make it target practice, so that you could never kill your opponent. But yeah, there was like there's just these crazy things that people can do in the Workshop. It's really worth looking at. It's quite fun, but I won't deviate too far from that. That might be something for another time.
That does sound really, really cool.
Yeah, I just some of the options they've got access to are phenomenal. So
phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
One last thing I wanted to mention about Perfect Dark was the bots, because they had loads of different types of bots. There was like Peaceful Bot, who I didn't realize they hoarded guns so that no one else could get them, which is pretty cool. There was Shield, Rocket, K's bots, which because they have a subtext for each of the bots. This one was be afraid of an adversary who is not afraid to die. And there's Fist Sim. I'm not sure if I've misspelt that. That seems a bit odd. Okay. Prey Sim, who goes after newly spawned players, those with weak weapons or health. There's Coward. There's Judge Sim, who only goes after the winning player. Feud Sim, who picks one player and just goes for them the whole time. Speed Sim, which it just goes faster than everyone else. I don't quite understand where they were going with that one. Turtle Sim carries a shield which counts as a double shield but slows them down considerably. And Venge Sim. And you can have up to 4 Sims and 4 human players during one match, which kicks GoldenEye's ass, to be fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for the N64,
Yeah.
and it like okay, it used the expansion pack, but how laggy GoldenEye would get with 4 players with explosions,
Exactly.
and yet Life at Dark could do that with 8 players and still
So-
run.
Yeah.
GoldenEye is obviously like legendary, but when you really think about it, is it?
Nostalgically, yes.
Yeah,
Nowadays,
I
it's
get it.
absolutely terrible.
I can definitely feel people ripping into me
I
already
think
for saying that, but I never really grew up with GoldenEye. But
Oh, you'd hate it then.
it
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
like for what it did at the time, it was a little bit revolutionary in a way.
Mm.
Oh,
I think
definitely.
But it
what
was easily surpassed.
one of the big things with GoldenEye that made it a big thing is it was a console bundle, wasn't it? You could buy,
Oh, yeah, it was.
so it sold a lot because of that. So a lot of people had got N64 for Christmas or whatever.
And
would
they
have
had
got-
GoldenEye.
Yeah, and that was the
Yeah.
only game they had, so every load of people got into it. So I think
Yeah.
that definitely helped it become what it's become.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, it is just an amazing game anyway.
Yeah, it's a brilliant game. Yeah,
Bomberman 64 was the last one for the 64 that I wanted to mention. Just traditional Bomberman, really, with a few bonus. I think they had a few extra power-ups and stuff like that,
Okay.
but not much different. A few on the Mega Drive, the Micro Machines Turbo Tournament 2, which I think was
Yeah.
a PlayStation 1 release as well.
Yeah, you reminded me of a few driving games actually I missed off PS1. Very
Yeah, go for
similar,
it.
very similar veins. So obviously there was Micro Machines, but there was also a very closely knit game called Circuit Breakers, I think, which is the
Okay.
one that I think I mentioned previously that had the extra levels on a demo disc.
Okay.
So you could put the demo disc in and get access to an extra couple of levels or something. But that was basically
Wow.
Micro Machines.
Huh.
But that's a PS1 game, and then there was another PS1 kart game, which is pretty much just Mario Kart, called Speed Freaks.
See, that rings a bell. Whether you've mentioned that before or not,
I
not
probably have
entirely
mentioned
sure.
all of those games, but I can't. I just forgot. I forgot them in the moment that they're multiplayer ones.
Yeah.
Gotta just check something though. But carry on.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, Micro Machines was awesome, especially for the Mega Drive, because it had the 2 controller ports in the actual cartridge. So you could put 2 extra controllers into the cartridge. And then on top of that, you could share a controller. So you'd automatically go forward. You just have to steer right and left, whether it be with the D-pad or the other person would use A and C. I'm not sure if you could brake as well, possibly. But then you could play 8-player with the PlayStation 1 one using multi-taps as well, although you'd have to have 2 multi-taps, I think. So most they have on them is 4, isn't it?
Yeah. 4.
Sorry, you were going to say, Sean?
No, I did dig up a really random piece of trivia though to do with Speed Freaks because I knew there was something I'd forgotten. The one of the songs on that game was recorded by Jamiroquai.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell! I love Jamiroquai.
It was used in the intro video
Wow.
to the game, and like I remember the secret unlockable character being, I think, the kid's dog or something. But yeah, it's just a Mario Kart ripoff.
Huh.
But it was all right.
You hear what Jamiroquai had to say about them, the presidency, like them storming the presidency or whatever.
No.
He talked about the guy with the really cool hat. He said he really liked his hat, but he didn't think he was doing the right thing. But he commented on how much he loved his hat.
It's the important thing for that man, isn't it? So,
Exactly. Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool.
yeah.
Next one is Toe Jam and Earl, Panic on Planet Funkatron, which is an amazing game. And I was in touch with them when they released their new game for like modern consoles, because Chris and I showcased their game at VidCon.
Yep. Yeah, that was good.
They gave us like a pre-release copy and copies to give away at VidCon. Those guys are so nice. Human Nature. I think they're doing other games as well now, but I'm not
they
totally
did a
sure.
really good job with that game as well. It was really nice.
Yeah, and they got the original bassist in on the thing as well. So I've got the double vinyl, and if you don't know that it's a video game, it just sounds like cheesy 70s porn music, which is really cool. We all love a bit of that.
Yeah. Wow, I'm supposed to sound a little bit less enthusiastic.
Yeah, that sounded like way too.
Whoops.
Anyway, we've just triggered Sean.
Of course, we've got Sonic 2 because you can play co-op on that. Although Tails would always fly off the screen, and then And if you're like my little one, then I'm playing Tails. She won't let me land, which is so frustrating. You're just flying along. She won't let me land. World of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck.
Yes, that was a good game.
Another good co-op game. For GameCube, my top one is actually Time Splitters 2. I didn't realize I'd written it on here.
Phantasy Star wasn't top.
That's second.
Yeah, figured as much. And third will be Mario Party something? Or is it Double Dash?
No, there isn't a third one, actually. I don't
okay.
like Double Dash. Double Dash sucks. We can agree on that, at least.
Yeah, nobody likes Double Dash.
Everybody loves Double Dash. Every event we do, it's like one of the most popular games we have. But yeah, the problem with Phantasy Star Online is it's not just pick up and play like most of these games. You have to know the people, you have to grind, you have to look after each other. It's like I was always I can't remember what the different classes were now, but
there was like a
hunter,
there was a magician. The races were Newman, Human, and there was a robotic
Gary
one. I forget
Newman,
what that was
Human.
called. Yeah, Gary Newman.
Yeah, I was always the magic person because then you could stand back and just
Heal.
with them with me. Yeah, heal everyone as well. And they had the mags as well, which was pretty cool, which would help you out and bring you back to life sometimes. For PlayStation 2, the most obvious one that I could think of was Tony Hawk's 2. I mean, that is an amazing game, incredible soundtrack, and I still really want to play the new one, but I probably won't for a little while.
Nearly put that on my list.
Still pretty expensive, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's off sale as well now, so it's probably more expensive.
Oh, damn.
I think you can get the actual physical disc fairly cheap now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I've been tracking it just on the off chance.
Might be worth having a look then. I've got Worms for, although I can't remember playing it for PS1. Worms is always a good one, but you do kind of need a mouse as well as Red Alert, and you kind of need a mouse for that one as well. Red Alert and Time Crisis 2 for PlayStation 1 and 2, respectively, but playing networked over consoles. Of course, this for Time Crisis 2, of course, it means you need 2 CRT televisions as well, which for Red Alert, you can get away with just 2 televisions. Just 2 televisions. But, bit awkward still. And that is my list.
Lovely.
I am done.
I feel like I went a bit over the top, or I stole half of your lists.
No, not at all. To be fair, my N64 list, I don't think anyone had anything from that. So I was surprised.
I was quite surprised that we didn't all have the same.
Basically. Well, I tried to go a bit different. I know Sean would go a bit different because you're into a lot different games to Chris and I.
Funnily enough, we kind of between us cover most of the consoles.
Yeah.
But like where I never touched like Mega Drive stuff or 64, you guys can pick up all that, and I played like a hell of a lot more SNES, I think, than you guys.
Yeah, exactly. That's a very good point.
But yeah, we kind of got like that branch off.
Yeah, good. I tried to cover as many consoles as I could, but to be fair, N64 was the one I had, and I mean, a group of 4 friends, 2 of them had N64s. I had an N64 and a PlayStation 1 because I was a sport child, and my other friend had a PlayStation 1. But most of the time, the co-op stuff or the multiplayer stuff was done on N64 because 4 controllers. So
I think I played something on every console going multiplayer. I think if there's been an ability to play multiplayer, I've already done it. I just couldn't remember everything.
Yeah, it was such a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, N64 and like Mega Drive and stuff will be the least I've ever done, but I have done something. So,
well, you're one up on me because I never touched an NES or SNES. I missed out.
I guess I got lucky. Some family members back when I was young had certain things. So
never had an NES, but I remember we had a SNES.
Yeah, I never had an NES.
I remember playing Mario All-Stars, Donkey Kong Country, and Pilot Wings. That's the other one.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Like my console sort of lifespan was starting with a SNES, and then I moved into a PS1, and then I think I was given a Game Boy Advance alongside it. Then I moved on to Dreamcast, and then on to PS2, I think.
Oh, Dreamcast was an awesome console.
Yep.
I missed that.
I didn't get to do much multiplayer on that. Did a little bit. Because I think you could still do 2-player Phantasy Star on that.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Really? Wow.
I can't remember, or was it Choo Choo Rocket or something really
Choo Choo
random?
Rocket. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that. Jeez.
I
It's one of
definitely
the only
didn't.
games I have for it.
I didn't have many games for that. Yeah, but
Cool.
yeah.
Cool. So, do we have a quiz?
We have a quiz.
Yay.
Awesome.
This one's a little bit different. You're going to need some pen and paper. Some
Neither
pen,
of which
yeah. Have some pen.
I can't get any paper.
Okay,
where
you
I
need
am.
some way to maybe make some notes. It might help.
Okay, that I can do. Right, before we do that, Chris, can you run the audio from Mr. Tim from the 4 O'Clock Robots? Thank you for our theme tune.
He's not dancing again.
No.
Get paper.
Priorities.
So,
I have the ability to take notes. What am I
fantastic.
I have pen, I have paper.
noting? Ooh.
He's
A
sorted.
pineapple pen.
As long as you're not writing on a pineapple.
Pen's gone.
Oh, that got me. That did.
Okay, so it's a double-barreled quiz, effectively. The
Right.
second round is more of a bonus round.
Okay, dokey.
And I tried to get this to go on multiplayer games. I don't really have a very fancy name. So this week's quiz is just simply called How Many Players?
It works.
Well, we'll see. We don't know what the quiz is yet.
It's how he delivers it works. So I don't
Oh,
care.
yeah, that's a fair point.
I'm going to give you guys 10 games. I'm going to tell you all the 10 games straight away.
Right.
I need you to put them in order of how many players you think they peaked at.
Okay.
So I
Oh,
want you to
God.
so what I've gone for all well-known games.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Ben's trading it.
Yeah, feel free to confer, but the reason I figured you'd want something like to write down is to write down
Yeah.
the names of all the games.
Keep a note of them, yeah.
Okay. I've got some extra little bits of information. If you get stuck, I can give you little extra tidbits on some of the games, like whether or not they're paid, like the year that they were made and who made them. But are you
Awesome.
ready
That
to take?
sounds like it's really going to help.
In some ways, it might. You're going to learn some things though this time.
Damn it. Less school to not leave.
The one thing we're going to learn is we don't know how many players are on these games.
I
Don't know
don't
how
want
to
the
count.
exact. I don't want the exact numbers of players. I just need to know. I need you to put them from like first to last.
Right.
Okay.
With obviously position 10 being which game you think has the least amount of players on this list, and
Okay.
position 1 being the most popular, I guess you could say,
Okey-dokey.
or the game that has peaked the highest in its current career.
Okay.
The stats I picked include the current highest player counts, and they're not all very recent. So,
Okay.
right. So on the list of games, we've got PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, or PUBG.
Mm-hmm.
We have Minecraft. We have Candy Crush Saga. We have Among Us. We have Fortnite. We have RuneScape. We have Tetris. We have League of Legends. We have Call of Duty. And we have World of Warcraft.
Now, a lot of these are going to be very different depending on what console.
True. Well, some of them are like RuneScape's PC only, I believe, isn't it?
So I'm the version. So yeah, effectively yes. This is counting. This particular thing is counting that platform.
Okay.
Okay, what Tetris are we talking here?
Now that is the one piece I don't have, which I thought was the interesting bit.
Because that's
So what I
the
was
only
going
one
to
that I
do
really know.
is I was going to give you the I'm going to give you the date that it peaked.
Okay, because you realise Tetris could be 1 or 100 or something in between that. Because you got Tetris
So
99.
this game peaked player count in September of 2008.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we don't know. we need to know which Tetris it is.
You can kind of work it out.
So confused.
Yeah, this is a very different format.
Oh god.
This is a very, very different format.
Right.
So you wrote all those games out.
Yes.
How does that list look as it is?
Well, I only know like 2 or 3 of these games.
Oh, you don't. Oh, I chose all the popular ones.
I know all
Yeah,
of
and
them.
I don't know any of these. Like, I don't even know what genre most of these are.
Okay.
PUBG is a shooting game.
Yeah, it's like Fortnite, isn't it? So,
Yeah, but more kind of adult based, so they're more
Oh,
realistic
okay,
rather than
okay.
cartoony graphics. Minecraft, obviously, you know.
yeah, I know.
Candy
And
Crush
talking
is
about online play as well, because Minecraft, I don't know how many players you can play online with. I'm guessing it's quite a few if you share a server.
So I tried to choose as many multiplayer games as I could. I will give you a clue that Candy Crush Saga obviously isn't multiplayer.
Yeah, I had no idea that was.
But so don't think of them all necessarily like that.
okay.
Like Tetris, for example, could also be just that it peaked with that many players online.
Okay.
But they don't necessarily have to be playing multiplayer. So they were able to track those stats.
No, I don't understand at all.
Ah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I tried something completely different, and I didn't want to. Giving it away would not have been great.
Chris, you got any ideas? Awesome.
See, it just shows that you guys don't know your current pop culture, I guess.
I really don't.
I know all these
games.
games. That's something.
See, Among Us, isn't that like 4 or 5?
Oh, that's the little spaceman dude things.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yes, that's that recent space guy dude where you sort of have to eject people you think are bad.
Yeah. You see, I don't know how many colours there are, but I think it's about 4 or 5.
I think it's like 8, isn't it?
Oh,
8. We could go 8.
I think you're taking this on the wrong way.
You're talking about like
Actual
I know what you
people.
mean. Each individual person playing it, so it's in the thousands for each of these games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
that
what I meant.
makes sense.
That's what I meant by concurrent players.
Okay, so it's probably in the
geez,
tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands.
Which is why like Candy Crush is up there because everyone and their mum had it on their mobile phone.
Yeah, I just started seeing adverts for that on
like Candy
bloody
Crush Saga
YouTube.
peaked players on June 2014. That's when they had their most ever players. Like that was 6 years ago.
It all depends on how popular these games are, and because I don't know any of these games, I don't know how popular they are.
Yeah, I can. Let me think.
All we have to do is put them in order. We don't need a number, Chris. Can you work this out?
Leave it with me.
Okay.
We'll join you next episode. You'll find out the answers.
Have we got an ad break?
I think. Let's have a look.
Right. So while Chris does that, let's enjoy a word from our sponsor.
Squarespace. That's on the picking, isn't it?
Who do you want to pick this week?
What is it? What are those mattresses that sponsor everyone?
Emma mattress or something, isn't it?
or that, or Simba mattresses.
I'll give you fair reign. This week you can cut this complete section out and record.
We are keeping this.
Record a roast of me and.
No, definitely. It's not your fault that we're absolute idiots.
Speak for yourself.
I'm speaking for the both of us.
Yeah, true. I think that so far my list has gone amazingly well. I think that my we have little faith.
You're going to have to sound check that because that clips so badly.
I think Minecraft is going to be the biggest game.
You see, I would have said like Fortnite. Because it's free to
but that's
play.
not on the list.
I mean, I suppose
is
Minecraft is. Fortnite is.
Oh, I missed that. Did you say Fortnite?
Yes. He said
Oh.
Fortnite.
I think Fortnite's on the top of the list.
Oh, I've been terrible to you guys.
Oh man.
I've been terrible.
I think Fortnite's on the top then.
Right, do you want to go? Shall I redo the list?
Yeah,
Do
really.
you want
wouldn't
to
mind,
start again? Okay. So on the list we have RuneScape. Have we got RuneScape written down?
Yes.
League of Legends,
Yes.
Tetris,
Uh-huh.
Fortnite,
Now I have.
Fortnite, PUBG, Minecraft, Among Us, Candy
Yep.
Crush, Warzone, World of Warcraft.
Yeah. I've got everyone. I win.
Bingo. So yeah, I reckon the free-to-play ones are going to be up the top.
Yeah, I think Fortnite's going to definitely be the top because that blew out of proportion, didn't it?
Yeah, Minecraft you have to pay initially for, so I don't think it's going to be quite.
Would you be surprised to hear some of that list is in the correct order?
Is it?
Yes, I would. Some of it. That's extremely helpful.
Minecraft was one of the biggest selling games, though, of all time. So that makes me think it's going to be quite high.
Biggest selling doesn't necessarily mean
Concurrent.
most
Yeah.
players online at the same time.
Because it's been out for so long, not
I guess.
all of those players are going to be playing at the same time.
And I guess
Yeah.
a lot of people who bought it are playing single player and not even playing online.
So Minecraft actually
True.
peaked players in November 2020.
Oh. Okay.
So
Yeah,
it
so
was
I imagine
recent.
that's going to be quite low.
Yeah.
PUBG, did you have to pay for PUBG?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you did.
Some versions of it are paid for. If I'm remembering correctly, like on Xbox, you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you could.
But it's on mobile.
Yeah, mobile's free, isn't
Oh,
it?
really? Okay.
Yeah.
And it's actually pretty good on mobile. It's like a proper game, so it's not like it's a crap
They
port.
peaked players on December 2019,
Okay.
When did you say Fortnite peaked? Sorry.
2020 November.
2020.
And again, that is
Oh,
technically pay to play as well.
Was that before or after Apple took it all off their products? 'Cause that was about that
before.
time. That was
wasn't it?
before, was it?
I think that was before because Apple was slightly after that.
Okay,
think.
so all players would have been able to access that game. So yeah, it's going to be near the top, if not at the top.
Yeah.
See,
But no,
Tetris is a difficult one because we don't know which version it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I nearly had to pick Solitaire for this because Microsoft Solitaire appears on this list somehow.
Okay.
There is a point
Wow.
in time, like, I'll give you this little tidbit because I like to teach people. Somehow, in July 2015, there is a version of Microsoft Solitaire that had 400 million people online.
Well,
I don't know what this
Wow.
is. Like, it's on this list, and I think it's ridiculous.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
no, I know. I've not played it, but I know that RuneScape is a massive game. There's a lot of people who play that online, and that purely is online. So everyone who plays it is online.
Yes,
So-
exactly. So some of these games are just automatically online.
Yeah. So that literally is an online game. So that instantly puts it up high in my opinion.
Then you've got
Um,
ones like Candy Crush and League of Legends, which are pay to play. Not they're pay to win type ones, aren't they?
Yeah. It's just like Well,
World of Warcraft is
Pay to play
free?
monthly.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. But that's
Uh,
still like crazy popular.
What do you
That's
reckon then?
mega.
Have you got a list?
Warzone, Call of Duty is purely online.
Not really. You can play it offline.
Yeah, but it's the actual proper game is
Yeah,
played properly,
yeah.
which is what most people do.
But
It's
that's an
online.
expensive game.
It's free.
Warzone, yeah,
have to
Warzone
get
is
it
the
with-
new freebie.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah, you just get it with PS Plus or something, don't you? You get the online through PS Plus.
Yeah.
Okie schmoky. And RuneScape, that's like a really old game, isn't it?
Yeah, that's, I reckon, probably early 2000s. Did that become a thing?
Maybe. When did that peak? Sorry,
Not a clue.
I'm asking Sean.
Oh, good.
Sorry, what one was that?
RuneScape.
RuneScape. When did that peak?
Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum.
I reckon that was quite a while ago.
January 4th, 2001.
Yeah. So I reckon that's going to be lower down the bottom somewhere.
You think? But then that's a game that's purely online, so everyone who's ever played it.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably further up the top then, isn't it? What's your list looking like?
I'm
I'm just talking. I don't know what.
I'm gonna go Fortnite at the top.
Cool.
Then Candy Crush. I think.
Okay.
Because, like John said, literally everybody had that on their phone. So that was, I remember seeing it everywhere. So
Okay.
yeah, then RuneScape. Then I don't know who to go, PUBG or Minecraft. I think Minecraft.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
Then PUBG. Then World of Warcraft. Tetris. Among Us, and then League of Legends. Am I anywhere near the truth?
Sort
I
of.
like the list.
Sort of. So for me, this was more of a test of like you as gamers, like how old
Well, we
school
failed.
how old school are you still? Because when I said there was a bunch of these in the right places already, there was more than I let on.
Okay.
Some of these are actually very surprising. PUBG is number one.
Is it?
Wow.
PUBG, yes, had the most concurrent players going.
Wow.
So what I think I'll do is I think we'll scrap the second half of what I wanted to do with this because it's not really like it's more trivia, but I feel like I want to throw the trivia in now.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, we'd never get it anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not.
He has
not
no
the end of the
faith in
world.
us, Chris.
Yeah,
I don't
I
blame
thought
him.
you might be able to suss these out a bit more based on like the internet and stuff. But PUBG was number one. At
I
its
didn't know
peak.
we were allowed to use the internet.
Cheat sheet.
So these games are on the internet.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. PlayerUnknown's Battleground is the most popular game on this list.
Hmm.
It had 636.6 million concurrent players.
Wow.
December of 2019. So, but if I remember correctly, that's not even the most concurrent players in a game ever. That's only third on the list.
Wow.
Yeah. So I thought I'd start there with PlayerUnknown's because the other two games are completely like I've never heard of them, even myself.
Oh really? Wow.
Second was Minecraft.
Okay.
That had 600 million players.
Jeez.
I'm very surprised by that.
Yeah.
I knew that'd be high up, but I didn't think it'd be that high up.
Among Us came in at third,
Wow.
500 million. So there are some like PUBG's got a very, very specific number of players on here. The rest of these are all within the millions, if that makes sense, like, or at least rounded off.
Yeah.
To make it easy. I don't know why they're not as precise, but they're just clearly not as precisely recorded. Yeah. So Among Us just pips out Candy Crush Saga. Candy Crush Saga.
Sorry, when was Among Us?
Like this year, wasn't it?
The peak players.
Yeah.
So this is the bit that sort of got me.
Because it was only on mobile on first, wasn't it?
Do you feel like it was released recently as well?
Yeah.
It's been out since 2018.
Has it?
Holy crap.
Apparently so.
I didn't realise that.
November 2020, peak players.
Because it was on mobile for ages, and then they brought it over to console.
Yeah. So that game peaked at the same time, roughly, that Minecraft did.
Wow. It's definitely Among Us has been one of the big Twitch games recently.
Yeah, I don't know if it's dying off now.
Yeah, possibly.
But it kind of is. So where did I get to on my list?
Candy Crush.
So yeah, Candy Crush. Who cares about that? It's not a real game. Like, then we are on Fortnite.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Which-
further down than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I
There are
think
only 350 million concurrent. Well, that's not even the concurrent. That's the registered accounts. Getting the concurrent players is a little bit more difficult for them. So the number is actually probably lower. It's probably lower than the next game on the list, which is RuneScape at 280 million.
Damn.
I will try and dig it out, but considering when the time was, Tetris was next with 177 million.
When
But I
was that?
don't.
In
You did
2008.
say.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I couldn't. I tried to dig up which version of this it was, and I didn't have any luck. But I wanted to include Tetris on the list because my list was. I was like, oh man, this is the weird. This is a weird format. Let's really ruin it. Then World of Warcraft and League of Legends both come in very, very close, but World of Warcraft is ahead of League of Legends with 100 million. And that was in January of 2014. So that game has been that game's been on the decline effectively for quite some time. Okay, I don't really care about League of Legends because that's just toxic as hell, but I'll get some hate for that. 2018 August was its peak for those that care. And then the game that is slap bang on the bottom, despite how new it is Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And that was
Wow.
peaked in December 2020. I know it's new,
That's probably.
but you'd have expected it to have punched through the 100 million units or 100 million players like barrier, and it hadn't.
That's so bizarre.
85 million.
Never would have guessed that was at the bottom though.
Exactly. So some food for thought there.
Damn.
And some interesting games on the list to be sure. Other little interesting tidbits. This list of games this list lists games that have had at least 10 million players. Anything under 10 million didn't make it to the list. There are only ever been 70. How many games did that show on this list? Where was it? Trying to find the biggest number because it's slightly unorganized.
Gosh, Sean.
Yeah, I know. I did count it and I forgot to write it down. As you'd expect, we'll go into some sort of. I'll give you some funny mentions. Why not? Roblox is on the list because Roblox is
that's just...
Roblox. There's a Pac-Man game on the list, and it's actually 5th.
Wow.
Yeah, Pac-Man. Crazy Racing Kart Rider. Ever heard of that?
Nope.
Exactly. Solitaire's on the list.
Yay.
Where were some of these other funny ones? The Sims Social.
What is that?
Exactly.
What is it?
Moshi Monsters. And you might have noticed I haven't mentioned games like Rocket League and Grand Theft Auto 5. I haven't mentioned FIFA. These games are on the list. Overwatch is also on the list, but Overwatch has only 50 million players at peak. So they haven't even hit it.
Wow.
There's Tom Clancy on here, Farmville 2, a Metal Slug game, Street Fighter 2, somehow. There's a version of that can be played online somewhere. We've got The Sims 4, so they're obviously because there must be some connection to the internet where they were tracking everyone. The Last of Us, the multiplayer on that has popped up on this list.
Didn't even know there was a multiplayer.
There is The Last of Us has an online multiplayer mode because there was trophies for it.
What do you do in that then?
I don't know. Never played it.
I know one game that's been getting really big recently, especially on Twitch, is Dead by Daylight.
Has it?
Loads of people are playing that. Is that on there?
Let's just check. Search on Wikipedia for the word dead.
Is that the survival horror one?
Yeah. I did
Left 4
buy
Dead
it.
2's on the list. 23 million players. 23 million owners on Steam as of July 2018.
Ah.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. That is your list of who's the biggest multiplayer games going.
Awesome.
That was as good as I could sum up because that was a tough thing to quizify. You can have a new word.
Congratulations, Mr.
You've been
Quizman.
quizified and you've learned some things.
Thank you, Mr. Sean, for that.
That's all right. Next week will be better. Much better.
I love the laugh indicates he has little faith.
Honestly, I had little faith in myself for this one. I was like, I have to do it on theme.
The thing is, it's just we
It's
keep
tough.
pressuring you to do a quiz every
Yeah,
week.
you don't have to do it.
Thing in the
Oh,
world.
no. I want to do it. I just find
Okay.
it's difficult to do this one on theme because
Yeah.
multiplayer games are... There's not like... It's the information around the subject. And
Yeah.
that's the best I could think of. Like, how many people are playing these games?
Do you think
And
that
could you work out their popularity?
do you guys think do you think it's time for another sound quiz? 'Cause I can whip out the old
I do.
I can whip out the
Capable.
launch pad and do a sound quiz.
You could do it on a
Go for it,
regular
man.
keyboard too, I bet.
No, that
I
sounds
could-
good to me.
I could play different Zelda songs.
I'm not here next week.
And then
Oh,
we could just end the meeting.
Connection
Yeah, if
issues.
you want, I'm happy to chuck some more. There were from before. There was hundreds of thousands of clips I could have got. So I only
Did you do last time? Was it music? Was it just actual theme songs, or was it sounds as well?
It was a bit of both, wasn't
bit
it?
of both.
Yeah.
I think.
I
Yeah.
think it
Because I was going to say
mostly sounds.
if you hadn't done one, do the other.
Yeah. I'll probably focus on just one.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
And
want to do
then-
another one, go for it. Make my day, because then you could theme it to our next theme as well.
Yeah. Exactly. Cool.
Which is.
So I didn't talk, so we could cut that bit out.
Yeah. Insert here.
No,
Yeah.
I've no idea. I don't know if you guys got any ideas.
At the moment, I do not. I'm afraid.
Do as normal.
I spent a lot of time trying to decipher this stupid quiz. Wasn't my finest.
Just do a trail out saying that I'm going to add it in, and then I'll add it in like we did last time.
Cool. Well, thank you to Mr. Sean for that delightful quiz. I've learned a lot.
Quiz.
He's doing. I was gonna say
quotes.
inverted
I'm doing the
commas,
home
but no,
tutoring
he's
while
doing-
COVID's on the go. That's what I'm really doing here.
Okay
I
then.
don't even know you're learning.
No, it's tragic. And thank you for joining us for another episode. Sorry, I had to stop like yawn because I'm so tired. Chris, edit that out.
But clip it also.
Clip it.
Add it to my folder.
I've just decided what the last when we do the quiz for this year, the end of this year is.
Which episode was
Which
the noise?
episode was this noise from?
Yes.
Right, you're doing the last quiz.
Okay. Brilliant.
Right, I'm going to start that again. Right, thank you, Mr. Sean, for that awesome quiz. I definitely learned a lot, even if it's the fact that I have no idea about video games. Even more so than I had no idea before. But next week, we're not entirely sure what we're going to be talking about. So we are going to put it up to a vote on our WhatsApp chat. If you guys have any suggestions as to what you would like us to talk about, or if you'd like to come and chat to us, we'd be more than happy to have someone else on. And we shall see if we get anybody that's actually interested in that.
Are you saying a multiplayer podcast?
Enter player 4.
I know there's 3 of us, but you know.
Yeah, we need proper split screen as opposed to this 3-way split screen. It's weird.
Nah, I'm still in the sandwich.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're on the right-hand side.
I'm always on the middle of the sandwich on my screen.
Oh, that's weird because it's just like 2 at the top and then 1 down the bottom on mine.
Oh, see, I half screen it so I can read.
Oh, I
Behind
can't
it.
read. Yeah, sorry. Secret's out. That's why I suck at RPGs.
You've been blagging it this entire time.
I can see shapes.
The first time you turned around and went, anyone want to play Sanic? And got corrected. And then, like, remember, I said,
okay. I can't come back from that. Right, thanks for joining us, guys. Send Sean a load of hate and a load of Sanics. And
Feed me.
we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Right, awesome ep, guys. Awesome ep.
Oh, man.
Oh, fucking hell.
That was easy and tough for me in two very different manners.
I'm mentally exhausted.
What was this one called? I forgot.
AIDS.
Co-op
The
game.
worst quiz ever.
Yeah, couch co-op and multiplayer games, I guess, maybe. We'll go with that.
So I had an idea, but I don't know how well you guys can do it. We had that suggestion for like collector's editions, didn't we? In like special bundles and editions of things.
I've always thought about that, but
Is it worth doing it? Because I had a look at my shelf and I've got some really cool shit I can show. So, like,
I'd be
and
happy
talk
to
about.
do that. I would have nothing.
I
to
just
say
didn't know
about it,
what
though.
you guys have got.
Yeah,
I've got, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like maybe like 10 or so collector's editions of various games.
Mm.
Some with some pretty cool stuff, but
I guess to collector's editions, if we extended it to like prized parts of our collections or something like that.
yeah, exactly, something like that. Because
I've got plenty up there that
there is one really cool thing I would want to show that you can also hear.
Yeah.
But I don't want to tell you guys what it is. I would like to show that off at some point.
Ron Burgundy.
I thought that just now. I was just thinking of Ron Burgundy.
Ron's just chilling over here.
It was dressing down.
It just gets super creepy. He just... Oh no, his glasses fell off. Oh man, he's had too much scotch. I love this guy. No, like it's an item from a collector's edition of a game I've got.
Okay.
But
cool.
you know,
Yeah,
I think you guys would like it. So at some point, I'd like to do that kind of episode.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do that next week. I'm happy to do that.
Because while we're recording these over video, it actually works better for that format as well, because we can show the things.
Yeah.
So I might
Chris,
even hook up
with that?
a better webcam.
Yeah, just do like prized possession out of our collection or something like that.
Yeah.
Gaming memorabilia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you can show anything. We can even show some of them silly controllers we've got again, and figures.
Yeah,
and
gaming memorabilia, like our favorite gaming
sorts of
memorabilia.
Yeah.
Because then that also hasn't necessarily got to be like gaming. You know, it could be like figurines or whatever. It's gaming related. It's then tying in the merchandise.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that.
And that I think would make a really good like poll or question or discussion for social media.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's true.
I bet people have got tons to say about that sort of crap.
Yeah. Let's go.
Let's go with. You say you're going to invest in a better camera as well, Sean?
I have a better camera. I've just got it. I've got it watching my 3D printer. I can literally just unplug it and bring it over.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And then like I can probably just walk it around the room. But no, like see, I've got a friend who collects steelbooks. But he just exclusively collects steelbooks from as many games as he can get his hands on. But like to him, that's a prized possession. So
yeah,
I just realised the light in my room has been slowly going down.
Slowly going down. It's been changing colour. I've seen that.
Oh no, the light, my actual light in my room, dims down at a certain time every night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's easier on the eyes to slowly dim the light at a certain point in time.
Okay.
And then it slowly comes on every morning.
Oh,
very posh.
Yeah.
No,
right. So shall I do a new exit for?
Yeah. Just do save me having to add one in, won't it?
Cool. Right, so for next week, we will be discussing our favourite memorabilia and like prized possessions within our own like inventory of video game merchandise. This was your friend that suggested this, wasn't it, Sean?
Yes.
Who's that? Sorry, I forget his name.
So his real name is Calvin, but he goes under the guise of Beat Rush EX on PlayStation.
Awesome. Well, thank you ever so much for that suggestion, and we will give it some good thought. If any of you guys out there have your own favourite merchandise as well, I specifically want to hear from you, Sean's friend. I've forgotten your name already. I'm terribly sorry. I'm very tired.
Yeah, it'd be cool to hear what people have got.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, so please do let us know, and we'll talk about you and it next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I'll have mine on because I've stopped recording.
Awesome. Cool.
Mine's already like rendering. So
Wow, he's like, I'm bailing out.
I thought we were done.
All right, I've
Oh,
stopped
dear.
mine.
What is this? Co-op games. I'll just leave it like that.
Oh dear.
Cool. Thank you,
Right, lads.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think as a sound quiz next week would be a good fit
Mm.
because this will be
I'll-
nigh on impossible to match a quiz to, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll work one out and I'll use the launch pad again because it's nice and easy and just push the button. Done.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh God, I'm ready to fail that next week though.
I won't. My favourite reaction to anything we've done is when I played Plock and you were like, "Oh my god!" It's
I was
Plock!"
like, because it's got this just really, really dodgy soundtrack,
It was amazing. Exactly the reaction I wanted.
and you got it.
Oh, brilliant!
We have to play that game. We have to all be in the same room, and you
Play
two have to
Plock.
play that game.
Oh, definitely.
I just need to see you play it.
I love the soundtrack alone. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a bit unusual, isn't it, to say
Yeah.
the least.
Right. I'll see you guys soon. I'll work
Cool.
on send them over like always, and I'll work on them during the week.
Awesome.
Yeah, I will do.
Thank you,
Okie dokie.
guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.